Hello! Welcome to the internet. This is twitch.tv/help action needed. I am Sean. You can find me all across the internet at help action needed. And today I'm going to be GMing for the first time a game of Fabula Ultima, which is a TTRPG that is inspired by JRPGs. So it is the TTJRPG. And so if you are a fan of games like Final Fantasy, Dino Crisis, Chrono Trigger, the likes, you'll like it. Also, thank you, Okami King, for saying that was nice waiting music. I wrote it. So I'm glad you like it. With me today, I have a bunch of friends. We had one additional person on the promo image, on from Roll D5, who was not able to join us, but I wanted to shout them out because they were part of our session zeros and just as much a part of the world building as everyone else here. So, On, I know you are lurking. If you can't hear me, no problem. If you can hear me, thank you so much for helping us build this world that we're going to engage in. With that started, let's go ahead and have the players introduce themselves. I normally go in overlay order, but Annie, I'm not going to throw you in first. So Yuri, who you be and where can we find you?
Hello, everyone. My name is Yuri. That is Yuri, pronouns she, they. Y'all can go ahead and find me at Yuri and the Beast absolutely everywhere on the internet. And today I am playing an ice elf named Shion.
Mika.
Hi, I'm Mika. I do things. I'm a producer director over on Roll D5, where we play indie games and stuff. Today, I am playing the warrior prince Citruna of Astoria, the Third Moon, who's very humanoid. The end.
Cool. And Annie.
Hi, I'm Annie. Pronouns are they, them. Um, my name is Legend of Anakin on literally everything. I do a lot of stuff. Um, I am playing Arlo. Arlo is a wayfaring monster hunter with a heart of gold. And he's from the capital city. And that's it. He just likes exploring and doing things. And compared to the other two people we're adventuring with, Arlo is literally just some guy, but he's happy to be here.
So, if you are not familiar with the system of Fabula Ultima, it is a very comprehensive, streamlined system that allows for a lot of things to happen. It takes some inspirations from Blades in the Dark with things like clocks, where there are different segments that need to be filled in order for an event to progress. There are things like your traditional like D&Ds and Pathfinders in terms of abilities. There are just a lot of inspirations from it that make it its very own thing. However, the dice system here is all very streamlined. You'll roll the two dice you need to roll, and then you'll take the higher one, and the higher one matters for damage. The end. So there's no like, if you're using this sword, you'd use this stat. There's nothing like that. It's very streamlined. That being said, though, this is not going to be a comprehensive how to play Fabula Ultima episode. It's going to be a brief little end game thing because it is a lot, and there's a lot to cover. And so we're just kind of here having fun, being friends, showing it off. There was something else I was gonna say, but I forgot because my brain is soup. So that's that. Shall we get started? Okay.
Slay.
So we will be spending our time today in the country of Solaria. It is known for its eternal belief in the sun. It is known that here the sun is the source of life. It is warm, it is welcoming, and every couple of years it regenerates itself like a phoenix, allowing its memories to be passed back into itself without waning or needing to gain strength or losing the battle to the seven moons that lay in the sky. However, in this, the cycle of the seventh sun, the sun has grown greedy and thinks to itself, hey, I can do this forever. I don't need offerings from all of them. I don't need the people to be on my side. I'm strong enough to wipe out everything and still be the strongest being in the entire universe, which is bad, because then everyone's dead. The effects we've seen here on Earth. Yuri, don't laugh at that. The effects you've seen here on Earth is that the wheats and plants have started to wane because the heat is too strong for them to grow properly. The moons are losing their darkness as the sun tries to encroach around it and make it so that it covers all of them. Color is being washed out of the world due to the sheer brightness of volume, and a lot of other things. And so we here have a party who are at the end of their adventure, at the time where they're going to go confront the sun and hopefully kill it so that it will reset, starting the cycle of the eighth era. So let's get to know them a bit. You guys would be at when we start our story, you'll be at the final dungeon if we were thinking of this as like a linear story. But I would like you all to introduce yourself just as whoever you are. It could be a moment from your past, it could be what you're doing now to prep, some sort of intro from your adventure that you have all done together to give insight into who you are as a character. Mika, let's meet you first.
Oh boy. Okay. So just introduction to who my character is.
Yep, could be a vignette from their past, could be what they're doing right now, anything. I also, above table chat, told the cast they're going to control a lot of the narrative today from their adventures, so they get to do a lot of heavy improv. Hooray. Mika.
All right, cool. So what he's doing is currently I'm deciding that it's nighttime. Maybe they're camping or something, or they're camping on top of a destroyed building because of a dragon, a space dragon, an ethereal space dragon, had raised this entire area, and then the sun's also not helping. So they're on top of this destroyed building, department store. So it's not like super tall, and there's a fire going. And much like how you would put a fishing rod like in its little slot so you could it'll fish for you while you're doing something else till you catch something. He's got a marshmallow on the end of that stick over a fire while he is oiling, cleaning his axe, which is a family heirloom. It's not actually a family heirloom, but he likes to say that it is.
Mhm. Nice.
And he's just whistling, yeah, as he does this.
Beautiful. And as we pull back into the main timeline, couple months after you killed a space dragon, Yuri, what is your character thinking about, or what are they doing, or what are they remembering?
My character is probably this far along in the story thinking about how it all started. She really can't believe one that she went outside of the frozen islands of the north. Her people hadn't left the islands in about 100 years. And she remembers how her people were so ready to just give up. You know, the ice is melting. We're just going to go and teleport ourselves to a different world. And the fact that she's here now, the only ice elf that has been outside of the ice islands in the last 100 years, and she thought it was going to be, I don't know, the world isn't what she expected it to be. People are weird, things are growing. Um, the sun, people do things with the light of the sun as opposed to hiding from it. And she, at first, it was not good. All of the things were too weird. She thought about going back so many times. But right now, she's thinking about how happy and how glad she is that she actually came out. She's learned so many things that her people have no idea even existed. And for as much as the rest of the people in this world call her and her people legends of, the old times, all of these things are so crazy and so magnificent and just so bizarre. Um, everything happening right now. And so she's sitting by the fire looking at her two companions, just, glad to be here and glad to be able to experience everything else the world has to offer so far in their travels. She's mainly thinking about all of the food. Every time they stopped at a new town, um, she got to taste something different. And in her pack, she brings out a couple of old skewers wrapped in some leaves of some type of tree. She doesn't know. They're green. It's weird. Leaves aren't green. And munching on them. She has so many scraps that she just didn't want to throw away. And she's, yeah, just savoring it and all the differentness of everything.
Nice. And then finally, same prompt, same question. Annie, what would your character be thinking of, or doing, or reflecting on?
Um, I think that Arlo definitely would be kind of like half journaling and half sketching. And their journal, like, when somebody doodles like in the middle of a page, but then they have words around it, that's kind of what they're doing. And they're like drawing out their friends that they're looking at, and to them, they're thinking about how, it's always just kind of been him and his parents, and he never had like friends, and he's never had friends around his age, and this certainly doesn't change the situation to him. And I think he's similar to his friends. He's thinking about, everything that they've been through, and he's just excited about it all, and he's thinking this is the first time that he's met people that are in like higher higher regard than he is, but they didn't look at him like he was any different. And even though he had so many questions and things like that, neither of these people, maybe in the beginning they made fun of him a little bit because he would say things like they were brand new, and like all he knew when he got to both of their homes was like what he had seen or what he had heard. And they might have kind of like, they might have, especially Citruna might have tried to just kind of make him seem like, oh, you didn't know this, like this thing is so normal. And he didn't catch on to it right away, but they never made him feel bad for not knowing those things. And he felt like he had something to offer because he always wanted to know more about where they were from. And I think that that's something that he wouldn't have had if he didn't go exploring without his family. And he's kind of grateful that these two people trusted him on the knowledge that he did have, and he got to show them parts of the world that they wouldn't have seen. And he's thinking of, maybe the time they like got to sit by the fire with a giant hydra, and they wouldn't have done that if Arlo didn't try to talk to the hydra. And he's like doodling the little hydra, and he's like excited about it. And his heart, I think he's just feeling like, as nervous as he is about everything that they've done, I think that there's nobody else he would rather do it with, and there's no other instance where he would feel more confident in the adventure that they've had, and where he's like excited that he's not going to let these people down, and he knows that they would not let him down. Um and that's kind of it. That's like, he's just really like grateful, I think, for being where he's at, even though it's not like a happy thing. He's experiencing something new, and I think that's what he's looking forward to.
Then yeah, you all would be at your campsite the night before the plan to get to the sun, camping out on the first moon. So I don't know if Satruna is trying to do anything to mess up diplomatic relations between the first and third moons, but it's the closest base that humanity has to the sun itself. And so they graciously offered you a campsite that your ship could dock at. Sometime in the past, you gained a ship that you've been able to transfer space through, and so you're docked on the first moon, and knowing that in the morning you all are going to head off together to confront the sun.
The first moon is actually mostly abandoned at this point because of the sun. It is the moon that's closest to the sun. And
Yeah.
so has been ravished. And, like 10 years ago, there was a mostly mass exodus.
Yeah. The few people then that remain might be more stalkers or more out for themselves, but you know that you have a safe haven in the spot you're in.
Mhm.
Nice. I imagine it's also very hot. Like, even the part you're on is dark rock that was toasty during the day. And so you're having to like stay in one specific spot so you don't overheat. Ooh, Mika. Mika got all Van Gogh. Okay. Uh
Dang it.
Mika.
No. Oh, it's 'cause I'm on the wrong internet. Hold on.
Okay. I was like, huh, fascinating. Yeah. Any like things you'd all want to say together for a last minute prep, or anything you'd all want to do, or we'll wait for Mika to come back? Or are you ready to head towards your final destination?
I think that Shion is, as she's munching on her snacks that they've accumulated, um, digging through her pack and looking through all of the little trinkets that they've acquired, um, most of them legally, right?
Hmm.
Some parts of animals like a horn and a tooth and all sorts of random things that originally she wanted to bring back to her people and attempt to make a case or explain to them why it was better for them to not only stay here, but come back out and form relations with the people of the world again. And she's just looking at the trinkets, kind of reminiscing on how far they've come. It's been a long time of traveling. And looks back at the other two after putting her pack away. Thinks about offering them a snack. Decides she doesn't have enough left for that and does not. And instead says, "Do you think we'll be able to do it?"
We just need the right attitude.
Right. Forgot about your attitude.
Hmm.
Right.
Yeah, the third moon attitude greatly affects the outcome of things.
Yes, I still have a hard time understanding some of that. It doesn't, honestly, half of what you say doesn't make sense. But
Yeah,
what does make sense is usually very smart and very helpful. So I will take your word for it. Our attitude will help.
I'll
Do
take the
you feel
compliment.
ready?
Uh, I could be readier,
Right.
but like I
This,
said, with the right attitude, it's gonna happen.
unfortunately, I don't think we have a lot of time. It's, like I said, our travels have been very long, and this is all just getting worse. It's the middle of the night, and the rock is warm. Do you feel ready? And she turns to her other friend.
I think Arlo would like sigh, but not an exacerbated sigh. They'd kind of be like, and they will get up and they'll go into the. I'm assuming the ship is nearby, and they're gonna go into the ship. And because I, Annie, also forgot that I have this, and I think it's very important. They're gonna go into the ship, and they're from inside the ship. They're gonna yell out, "Yeah, of course I'm ready." This is like the whole point of like why we came together. This is what we're here for. There's nothing else that I could possibly be more ready for. They say very loudly from the ship, even though they're very nervous. And
That's the
he
spirit.
and he is going to grab. So the fun thing about Arlo, because he's a wayfarer, and you guys would know this the whole time, he's got a loyal companion, and his loyal companion is a construct, but it's a construct that he made to look like a vampire bat. And he named his companion Shimmer. And it's based off of glitter bats that you guys first saw when you first got together. And he already had the bat, but the bat didn't have a name until you guys already met. Um, and so he comes out with Shimmer, and Shimmer doesn't have eyes. It's quite literally like the nose and the mouth of the bat, and then it's like a metal iteration of a bat, but like yay big. And he's holding him. Shimmer is like awake and moving, whatever. And he's like, um, yeah, I think it is all about of our it is all about our attitude. And I think I might be more nervous than anything, but there's really nobody else I'd rather do this with. I'm not sure what'll happen afterwards or what'll happen to us, and maybe people won't sing songs about everything that we've done thus far, but I think that there's no other route we can take, and whether we're ready or not, we have to at least pretend like we are.
Right, attitude. Hey, so you both know that I've been collecting things to bring back to my people. I do not think that us living the way we do, so secluded, is good. But I've been thinking a little more on that, and these trinkets might not be enough. So I wanted to ask a favor of you. Um, After this is all done, would either or both of you consider coming back with me to the Frozen Isles
Yeah,
to
I imagine my dad's gonna need some cooling off time after this before I see him again, so I'd be pretty shui.
yes, and there are all sorts of animals and creatures that live in the frozen lands that you don't really get anywhere else. I can show you the food, and I just really think they won't agree to opening any relations just with my tales and my trinkets. And I want you to help. I want my people to experience the world like I have.
Oh,
I,
question though. Oh, go ahead.
I think I'm completely on board, but I wouldn't be able to ask them very many questions, would I?
Oh, yes, we have a person whose job it is to keep the stories and the lore and everything, our history. You could ask them.
I just remember one time you said it was brave of me to ask questions, and from what I know now, I don't really know if they would like I don't know if they would enjoy that, but if you think I can go to that person and I can bring Shimmer, then I am more than on board.
I think the problem was more the nature of your questions, not the questioning itself, but it is their job to answer. And so they don't have a choice. You can sit them down until you are done.
Would you
But
show me any of the monsters out there?
of course, we don't call them monsters like you do out here, but I will show you all of the creatures. And you don't have to set anything in stone now or give a definitive answer until after we are done. I just want you to know what I want and think about it. Okay? Okay. And she brings out another snack without offering any, just continues munching.
And Citrina, it sounded like you had something you wanted to say.
Um, oh, um, didn't you say that in your culture being brave was kind of an insult?
Right. Um, our people have lived this long, these thousands of years, by keeping to themselves. So curiosity was not well regarded, and doing things outside of the norm or things that aren't already considered safe to do is not well looked upon either. Yes, but I hope to change that, and I'm sure that they will come around after meeting the two of you. And you, Citrine, have such a charisma. I'm sure you'll do just great.
It's the one good thing I inherited from my father.
Yes.
And his
Let's
eyes.
hope.
Those are also real nice. And this little beauty mark, I also think is pretty great. Oh, shit. Do I actually like my dad?
Regardless of how you
Uh,
feel about him, let's hope he doesn't know about this little expedition until after, just in case.
yeah.
With that, your night would come to a close. You could sleep outside, probably safer to sleep on the ship. And in the morning, you'd be able to set off. Who do you think is your primary pilot out of the three of you?
I would not know how to fly a ship
I think it would be
at all.
Arlo, no? Well, actually, no, I
It would
guess
be
it could be
Arlo.
either. Yeah, I feel like Arlo would just have the enthusiasm to do it because like you guys are older and more mature, and Arlo's like, wait, I can definitely do this thing. Whether or not
Yeah.
it's a bumpy flight, I don't know. But I think that by now, you know what I mean, they'd probably be expecting it a little bit.
Nice. So
Yeah.
then, in that case, Annie, you'll be our leader for this check. So all of you can roll if you want to. Mika and your characters will be considered supporting. So you can choose to engage in the roll or not. If you hit the DC set for you, which as a supporting character is always 10, you can add 1 to Annie's roll for this. Annie, your roll would be based on the difficulty of the check, similar to a DC in like a D&D game. It's going to be varying based off of the difficulty. For supporting characters, it's always a 10. So, and I don't believe your Tinkerer ability gives you anything special for flight, does it? Okay. Then can I get a dexterity and insight roll for you, please? So roll your dexterity die and your insight die and add them together. And tell me that number. And then Yuri and Mika, if your characters are helping, tell us how they're helping and go ahead and roll as well.
Ooh, excellent. That's 11 total. And
Perfect.
okay, I think Citruna before Arlo knew that Citruna was teasing him, he gave him a few bad pointers on how to fly the airship, and so now he's standing behind saying, like maybe Arlo every so often like looks back to see if Citruna's like, and every so often, every
The
occasional bump,
thumbs up.
Citrina's like, left.
And I feel like Arlo would just be really proud. Like anytime they get like a thumbs up or something, they'd be like, yes. And they would like turn back around and be. I say my role now.
Oh, you
Yuri,
get
are
to add
you trying to
one.
do anything?
I
yeah.
did. I got
Okay.
a total 12. I
Just had to one up me.
think that that's exactly why my dice rolled a 12. They felt it. I think Shion would be probably the one to keep our maps. And like do the actual navigation of where you like chart course and things like that. And so they would have told they would have said like how long to go this direction and the other and that type of stuff as well.
Nice. So then, yeah, Annie, whatever Arlo got here, +2.
Okay, so then it would be 15. I got a
Great,
4
yeah.
on my dex and a 9 on my insight.
So a 15 is great. Like a 10 is a standard check in this game. A 7 is a little easy. A 12 is a little hard. A 15 goes beyond into like the difficult category. So what is it looking like as Arlo is expertly piloting from like the closest moon all the way to the sun, where it has like a docking station?
I think that this would clearly be like the most mature Arlo has seemed like the whole entire time. And I think that in the back of their mind, they're kind of thinking like what keeps them going is not just like their friendship and stuff that they got on the way, but also like their parents trusted him to like they trusted him to like come out and like forge his own path and do all of those things. And like in my mind, they gave Shimmer to him so that way he had something to like work on just in case, and like he kind of still had companionship in case he couldn't find friends. But he's thinking of like how proud of him his parents would be, and that like he is getting to forge his own path this way. So he's like locked in, and it is the smoothest flight that they've ever had, and there's no like sharp turns where it seems like he definitely missed the direction or something. It's just like easy sailing. But you can also kind of see like in his face there's like a little bit of a smirk. I feel like Arlo is the kind of person who almost always has a smile on his face.
Mhm.
um Although I think if either of you guys were to be watching him closely, you could kind of see that he's like nervously like tapping his foot, like shaking his leg, I guess. So you could tell that he's a little bit nervous as they get closer to the sun. But other than that, like he is like locked in, completely doing the best he's ever done.
And with that expert landing, the two of you looking behind, you would see that whether Arlo notices it or not, they are outmaneuvering two drakes that have been trying to catch up with your ship. And you would know that when you land, they'll probably be there, but you would be able to prep anything you wanted to take down these little drakes. They look familiar, as they seem to be the hatched eggs of the space dragon that you fought on the third moon, and they're coming for revenge. And they are evil space drakes. Yes. There is no redeeming them. You know that, Arlo. They're evil. Space drakes are bad. Solar drakes are good.
Subclass sun.
Lunar drakes are
Oh,
somewhere.
solar drakes. Okay. Okay. Space
Yeah.
drakes.
Space drakes. In this case, initiative works the same way as doing a scene check, except it's always going to be dexterity plus insight. So who would be first to act? You'll be considered the leader of this combat. Who would want to be first?
Let me double check my.
Yeah, no, you have a lot of weird time abilities.
Yeah. I think
While you're
it's
looking.
still time.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay. Cool. 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 Um,
The,
I got it. So I'm going to use my stolen time ability. So during a
Okay.
conflict, you may use an action to interfere with the flow of time by spending up to skill level times 5 mind points. And so that'd be 2 times 5, 10 mind points. So for every 5 I spend, I can choose one. So I think that means I can target more than one creature. No, okay.
how-
Each option can only be chosen once per use of the skill. Okay, so I am going to use slow on one of the drakes.
okay.
And then I'm going to use which one of you is more fighty? Because I
You.
can or I guess can cast long range.
Like in terms of range, you would know both of your friends have ranged options.
Mhm.
Mhm.
One is more magical, one is more arcana tech.
Okay, and since Arlo is driving, um, Sheon, you get to attack now. The ability reads, choose one ally you can see who has yet to take a turn during this round. That ally may take their turn immediately after yours during this round.
Nice.
So
Yeah.
Shion, what do you
So
do as you see two solar drakes flying towards you? Or Mika, do you have more that you're doing on Citruna's turn?
how many actions do I get per turn?
One.
One.
Unless you cast Accelerate, it's always one action.
Okay. Cool, then that was my action.
Perfect. Then normally
And
the enemies
you
would go, but also the enemies aren't in range yet because you all did a great job driving. So it would immediately pass over to Shion.
yeah. You put slow on one of the drakes, right? How many drakes are there? 3?
Two.
Oh, there's just 2. Okay.
Mhm.
That's fine then. I Yes. Okay. You see as Shion steps forward and holds her hands out in front of her, and it's so hard to see from this distance, but there is like mirrors, like small shards of glass that float around the heads of these two space drakes. And they look like mirrors that you would know based on your travels together are made out of ice.
Mhm.
As she casts hallucination on both of them, so they would be able to like see and experience bad moments, anything bad that is in their mind, and those bad
Mhm.
feelings reflected back at them.
Okay.
I can target up to 3. There's only 2 of them. It costs me 5 mana each, so I will do them both.
Okay.
And I can choose dazed or shaken um,
So
for both of them. I will
I'll say
do.
within the world, you would know that drakes are far more strong than they are magical. And so Shaken will lower their willpower die, which is like the strength in their combat and their HP and stuff. The Dazed would lower their insight die, which is their magic and magic defense. So that you
Yeah,
know
so
which one
I
you'd
will
want to go for.
do. I'll give them both shaken.
Okay, cool. Good to know. Nice.
So
And
that way,
then
yeah,
mhm.
to prep for when they manage to get closer.
And Arlo, anything you would be doing in this case?
I definitely think that there'd be a little pout when, because I'm assuming that now that everybody's doing stuff, Arlo would notice that these drakes are behind the ship. And I think Arlo would pout a little bit because, like, oh, like they didn't really want to fight the parent when we did that. So now he's like, oh man, and he's like, ah, I can't believe we have to fight Max and Matt. That's what he named them. And he
When they
saw,
were eggs, you named the
yes,
eggs.
yes, yeah, and he knows which ones it was.
Mhm.
And I think at this point, hmm, I think that Arlo would fly past the dock and
Mhm.
decide not to land right at this moment. Because
Okay.
if we do, we're fighting against both of them and they're just going to swoop in on us. And
Mhm.
that's at least like what their point of view is. Um, my my question then becomes,
Mhm.
um, and I guess this is like a bit above the table question, but
Mhm.
so the way that constructs work is like I wanted an animal, but I also wanted a construct because Arlo's a tinker and that's fun. But so the shimmer is effectively like a reskinned arcane lantern. And
Okay.
they have, I don't need to give a mana transfer to either of my friends, but because Arlo is flying and that's like both hands, they're not going to stop what they're doing
Mhm.
to do that. I'd imagine that Shimmer could do something,
Mhm.
but
Yeah.
is how? Oh, never mind. There's a little picture of it. I'm assuming that the bow and arrow picture means that it's a ranged attack.
Yes. Yep. The bow and arrow does mean ranged attack, but
As I
I
was
also
love
asking the question.
yes, it does mean ranged attack, but
Yes.
also because we are doing like weird space level combat, even if it's something like physical, we could say like you have a magic sword that would allow it to reach
Okay.
further.
Okay. Well,
So like
in
yeah.
either case, I think because Arlo's hands are full, they just would
Mhm.
try to focus. Like they really don't want to let their friends down because they're doing such a
Mhm.
good job flying. So they
Nice.
do slow down when they reach the dock, but they kind of the minute they notice the drakes and they pout, they're like, all right, let me like we'll just remaneuver. And I think Shimmer would see what's happening and decide to do an elemental discharge.
Okay,
Um,
cool.
which I have to roll
You'll
a
roll your
d6 to
dex and
determine
your
the
insight.
okay. And
Yeah,
then I
because
have to roll a
we'll
d6
roll
to determine the
first and then we'll
damage.
do that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That way we can know if we hit.
Oh, but it's the same thing as what I just rolled, which is my highest dice and my lowest dice. So
it.
Oh, and if you get 2 6s or higher, so 2 6s, 2 7s, 2 8s, 2 9s, 2 10s, let me know because that's how you crit in this system.
okay, well I didn't. I got two
Okay.
fours. So,
Which is an 8.
yeah.
Uh,
And then I would roll. Would I roll the d6?
Let me check their defense. So their defense is higher than an 8. So
Okay.
as Arlo is driving, what does it look like as Shimmer tries to like shoot this beam out, and one of the drakes just spirals out of the way?
Yeah. Okay. And then Shimmer. Oh, that's the whole action that Shimmer can take, right? Because it's my
Yep.
act.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Actions
then,
in this turn are much
yeah.
smaller than other systems, but they happen a lot
Mhm.
faster.
Yeah.
So
So then Shimmer would try to just kind of reposition itself behind my friends that are fighting.
Okay.
Just in case you guys at this point would know that Shimmer does have mana transfer as a construct, which is why Arlo's parents gave him to him. Just in case he needed the extra support. But you know, so Shimmer is like prepared as backup just in case he needs to be there, and Arlo is like trying to pay attention, but is also sad about fighting the Drakes because Max and Matt were cool. They had potential, you know? And
You'll
that's it.
find nice drakes one day. Cool. Then let's go ahead and do our official initiative roll. Who would be the leader? It sounds like Citrino is the most combat-y, but that doesn't mean that they have to be the
Mhm.
leader of the scene. And it would be the same rule. So once we determine a leader, everyone will roll. But we'll need to know who that is first.
With
Yeah.
the proper attitude, anyone can be a leader.
Exactly.
So me, I'm going to be the
Okay.
leader.
Cool. These creatures' initiative score is a 9. So you need your dex plus insight to beat a 9. The others, it's still a DC 10 to give Mika that +1.
I got an 8. Sorry.
I rolled. Oh, I critted. Can you crit with initiative? That's 2 5s.
You can nope, 6s
6
or
and
higher.
above.
Okay, 6s or higher.
Yep.
Also, let him know if you get 2 1s. That's a fun.
Yes.
Okay. Man, what a waste. All right.
But that's still, it beats the 9 though, so it's still there. And Annie, what was your initiative roll for Arlo?
9.
Okay, so no buffs here because your support is very busy, literally being support. But you still do beat, which means that your team goes first in combat. So the way that combat works is it's team versus team, and so it'll be one person from team good guys, one person from team space drakes, and it will go back and forth. And so
Okay.
it'll be like one of you, one of them, one of you, one of them, you, and then you'll go again. Since you have the additional person, after person 3 on your team goes, there's nobody on the other side, so you get to go again. It's also not fixed. So if Mika wants to go first, and then we go Andy Yuri, Yuri can go immediately again at the top of the next round. There's no fixed combat initiative. You guys can act whenever you want, which helps those support classes that sometimes are thrown into like, oh, my role is buff the entire party and I got a 1. Looks like we're doing an entire round with nothing. That doesn't happen in this game, which is really nice. The other thing for you all and chat to know is that enemies target the people randomly. Very much that old like JRPG, they couldn't program specific like strats, so it was like, cool, we're attacking this one. I don't get to be like, oh cool, Space Bat is going for Yuri because Yuri attacked last. I'm gonna roll a d6, and if it's a 1 or a 2, it goes for Annie. A 3 or a 4, it goes for Yuri. A 5 or a 6, it goes for Mika. And that is how all enemies act in this game. They all act randomly to recreate that JRPG feel. But Mika, you did succeed, so your team will go first. So who on team We're Gonna Save the World wants to act first against the Space Drakes?
So since we fought the
Mhm.
parent Drake and we've
Mhm.
faced these creatures before, I would know what kind of attacks
Yeah.
they do. And would I
Yes.
know if they're more magical in nature or physical in nature?
They're far more physical in nature. They do not have any, especially the young ones, do not have any innate magic to them that the older ones would have.
Love it. Okay, so I am going to take the first to do a buff to my allies. I know that physically our prince has a very high you have like armor and stuff, I'm assuming, right?
Yeah.
Right, because I think you have a 12 physical or above
My
that.
physical is
Physical defense.
10.
Hmm?
D10. With the
Oh.
11. 11 is the defense. is my defense. Yeah.
Yeah, so I'll still give it to you anyways. So I am going to hold my hands out to the two of you, and you will feel as like little specks of frost start to cover your body. But you don't feel cold. You just see the frost, and you know it should feel cold, but it doesn't. Um, you know that Shion's magic, when it is placed on you, uh, never feels cold. And so these little crystals materialize all over your body, over your face, and then solidify into this translucent sort of second skin as she casts barrier. Um, I weave my magic and my soul into a barrier to protect the targets from attacks. Until the spell ends, each target may treat their defense as being equal to 12.
Nice.
Real nice.
I
And that's
yeah.
only on Citruna, or it's on both of them?
It's on all three of us. I can do up to 3.
Beautiful.
Yeah, we're
Well, then in
burning through
that
this
case,
MP.
our Drake will go first. I got a 5, so they'll be going against Citruna, and they're going to try and screech. They're flying in close to you all, but they're not close enough to really get their like claws and fangs into you. And so they're going to use their Dex die, which is lowered because of our slow spell. And they're also going to use their willpower die, which I believe Yuri, you did something to lower that too, right? Your
I
last turn, you
lowered
lowered
both of
that.
them.
Yeah, so that brings it down. So both of their die are 1 die level lower than what they would typically be rolling, and you have just upped the AC to the defense score to 12, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So on the 6 and an 8, it's going to be very hard to hit our prince. And they don't. They don't do that.
Ooh.
So
So
you see.
did they roll an even number?
No, they did not. They got
Okay,
an 11.
never mind. All right.
Do you have counterattack?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like counterattack. It's fun. No, they did get an 11, but thank you for keeping me in mind. I'll let you know if it's even or odd. But you see a little airstream, kind of like they're trying to use their breath, but like there's no oxygen to light fire, and so instead just a propulsion of air is shot right through one of the space windows at you. And that brings it now to Team Sunkillers, who would like to go next.
Are they within range of me?
The one that screamed at you did fly closer, so that one would be within melee range, yeah.
Okay.
Which is Matt, by the way. For Arlo's purposes,
Matt right.
is
Yes,
the one
yes,
that's
yes.
floating close. Yes.
I know.
So if an attack gains multi, does that mean it has to be 2 separate targets, or I can attack Matt twice?
Typically, it would say if it can't be 2 separate things. So does it say like 2 separate, or does it just say you gain 2 attacks?
It just says gains multi.
Cool. Then yeah, I think you can attack this one. And chat, like I said, this is not a perfect playthrough. Don't come at me. But I'm pretty sure you can attack the same one twice with your multi-attack.
Now
I appreciate Yuri being our fact checker.
Thank you.
Yep.
Yes. Okay. Yeah. If it's right there, then I'm going to use my war axe and swing. So it's might plus might.
Yep. So you'll roll your might die twice, and you're trying to beat an 8. You can tell that this thing is still like trying to re-get its senses, so it's not as focused on keeping itself safe as it would normally be.
Oh, that's a 7.
Okay.
Oh wait, no, I get
mhm.
plus because of my melee weapon mastery. I gain a bonus equal to skill level, so that's a +3. So that's a
Damn.
10.
Cool.
Yeah.
Then yeah, you successfully land hit number 1 on this space strike. Go ahead for hit number 2.
So for damage,
so is it HR plus something?
Yes, high roll plus 14.
Cool.
So
So,
that's
the
20.
higher of the 2 dice there. God damn. Okay. Cool. That's
Yeah.
perfect and normal. That's so fine.
I'm That doesn't seem right, but like on the item it says HR plus 14.
Oh yeah, no,
Um,
that is right. I just this is my first time running it. Balancing it is something I thought I did well. Cool. This Drake is in
And
crisis. Yes, Yuri?
so think of it
Mhm.
as multi-target, not multi-shot.
Okay. Okay.
Cool. Thank
So
you.
So then
yeah,
I
so
just
you'd
get the
be
one.
able to essentially, if there was two in front of you, swing in a wide arc and hit them both, right? So you'd roll once for that damage and that attack. You'd be able to target multiple creatures with that one attack
We
because it is
Okay.
a
appreciate
melee weapon, right? Yes.
Mhm. Our fact
Yes.
checker, who also owns the book and is doing the very kind deed of helping Sean run this system. Also, chat, find it. It's a 400-page book with 2 300-page supplements. It's beefy, but it's great.
Yes.
Uh, anyway,
That is my
um,
turn then.
cool. Then that passes over to our other one, Max. Uh, Max also rolled a 5, so Max will be coming for you again. Uh, Max has only their willpower die decreased, though. So they will be doing. They get to use their D10 and their D6. Um, so they got a 5, 3 plus 2. So they miss by a lot. Uh, and are not able to hit you with their jet of air either, but they have also closed the distance. So both are now in melee physical range. And for those of you who are spellcasters or archer, you can take a step back and do it with uh, your range as well. That will bring us over to Arlo, who's last up, and either you or Swoop can go.
I think that, well, I guess I would have to still be using Shimmer. But my question is, so I don't know if I misread something, but I didn't use MP, and the problem is I don't want to keep doing it if it's a mistake that I made. So with the constructs it says MP 55, but it doesn't say if the MP costs anything. Like, I don't know, is it my MP that I'm using to make the construct do that thing? Because I don't have 55 MP.
How much MP does your character have?
50.
Okay, so then the construct has its own MP.
Okay.
And with the
Okay.
mana, the transfer, it's from that pool
Okay.
that they
Okay.
can
Okay.
give you some
Okay.
as
Because
well.
it doesn't say, you guys were mentioning it, and it doesn't say that the attack costs anything. So that's why I was like, wait a minute, did I miss something?
Yeah, with
Okay,
the
but I did.
tinker, once
Yeah.
you have it, you're good to go.
Okay. So then I think it would just kind of still be like, logistically speaking, Arlo would still be trying to like barrel roll and like fly through what's happening. And I think that I want to say Shimmer would still. Well, how are you guys doing? How are you guys doing on MP? Because I could just transfer some if you want, because I know you said you were burning through it, and Shimmer can do that.
Fun.
Yeah, if you would prefer.
I
It's
know.
up to you. Do you want them to attack or?
You should have them attack because I also
Yeah.
have absorb MP.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah.
I'll be fine
yeah.
for now. Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
have that.
Yeah.
But I will probably, knowing that your construct kind of absorbs mana and can sometimes disperse that to us, whenever I get low enough that I won't be able to do or be helpful, I would let you know.
Okay. Okay. So then
Mhm.
Shimmer's just gonna attack. And they're gonna do the same elemental discharge that they tried to do earlier. And that means I roll the
Excellent. Yep.
Yep.
And are you going for Matt or are you going for Max?
Which we hit Matt harder, right?
Matt has been hit harder and currently has the lower AC.
So then I'm gonna do Matt. I'm gonna try to hit
Okay.
him. And then I got 3 and 3. Really?
That's to a 6. Still doesn't get us there.
Yeah. Dang it.
No, they're warming up. They gotta get themselves going for the day.
They were, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
But that does bring us to the top of the round, which is still Ural's lead. So whoever wants to go from your team.
But wait, I think also when that happens and Shimmer fails again, Arlo would like look back and be like, "It's okay, buddy. You'll get them next time." Just in
Oh,
case, you know.
yeah, keeping Shimmer's morale up. We love it. Okay.
Yeah. Shion would look to the prince now that they are both in melee range, because they would be able to hit them both. So it's like, okay, right now's the time before they split up again. Like, hit them.
Yes, excellent. So I'll do just that. I'll activate
Okay.
Blade Storm, so I'm gonna spend 10 mind points so I can multi this
Mhm.
this bitch.
Mhm.
Yeah,
So you
that's
roll once as if it was a single target, but you get to apply to both.
excellent. War Axe.
Or
Might plus might plus
you're trying
3.
to hit both of them. You're trying to beat a 10.
Excellent. That's a 12. I'm so happy I've got
Cool.
that plus 3.
Mhm.
So then highest roll 5 plus 14 for 21
Jesus.
each.
Cool. What does it look like as Matt is cleaved in half and Max takes a residual amount of damage?
It's a cool, like, as I leap up, it's this cool anime, like, spinning like a bullet, and then, I stop as I'm behind Matt, and Matt's just split in
Gone.
half. And then I land on top of, what was the name of the other one?
Max?
Max. So I stand on Max and swing my axe down on Max's back.
Cool. Max is the only enemy left, so they have to go. They got a 3, so they'll see that their illusions are currently being done by the spellcaster hiding in the back, and are going to aim for you. They're close enough to be within their melee range for you, so they're going to do that. But their dex die is decreased, so they are not going to be rolling 2d10. Instead, they will be rolling 2d8. And they're going to try and attack Xian. 6 plus 5 is bigger than 12. No, it's not bigger than 12. I had to roll perfectly
11.
at 12. Yeah. So no, you see as like they're closer and they know that their breath isn't working, they try to just get like their claw and teeth in to like grab at you and bite you, and they can't get in through the window. Their little arm gets stuck in the window and you're not able
Yeah.
to be
Oh.
grabbed.
I do think it's like they managed to, like, if there wasn't ice covering her body, they might have left like a little, like a single line, like a paper cut's worth, but they can't even do that because the tip of their claw hits the hard
Just
ice.
hits the eyes. Yeah. And it just slides right off and he's like, oh. And that brings us to you both. So the only person, so we did one here, one there, one here, one there. So yeah, Arlo, what would you like to do? And actually, no, Arlo or Shia, neither of you actually did anything mechanically this round.
Hmm. Yeah, I think seeing Citruna get rid of one and then wound the other one very badly, and knowing, like, all right, this one doesn't look like it'll last very long, I look encouragingly at the little mechanical bat.
That's Shimmer.
Yeah.
Okay. So then Shimmer would kind of get the memo right away.
Yeah.
Yeah, and they would mana transfer. And I
Oh
can
no.
oh.
Like
Shoot
encouragingly,
it.
as in like, oh,
Oh,
like
okay.
it's weak. Like, you can do
Oh.
it.
So then Shimmer would get that memo. And Annie would
Because
too.
I think if like Shion would have taken a hit, but I feel like she feels it might be like the last hit, and so she wants to let the construct try to kill it.
Okay.
Mhm.
I will try to do the elemental time.
Mhm. Going for a 10 here.
I got a 9.
Shimmer,
Isn't there a help
Shimmer,
action here?
Hey.
Shimmer is not contributing.
Although, mentioning a help action, if you want to have a bond that you burn here, Shion, to help out Shimmer and Arlo in this situation, you can burn a bond.
Oh no, it's a hinder and guard. That's true. The actions are different.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, I think at first, honestly,
Mhm.
at the beginning of our adventure, Shion didn't know what to think about the little mechanical flapping thing. Why is it why does it creak? Is that metal, but it moves on its own? I don't think Shion, there's no constructs where I come from. And it took her a while and seeing how you treated it like a pet and like it was a real alive thing for her to eventually be like, hey, can I touch it? That's weird. It took weeks. Okay. And now we get to this point where Shion is actively encouraging this little thing to go take a hit, like do the thing, you can do the thing. Um it's it's been a long kind of upward hill here from not even wanting to touch the thing to now treating it the way that you treat it. And so yeah, I will use that bond and burn it to help you.
Cool. Which adds a +1, which turns it from a miss into a hit. So go
Yes.
ahead and take your high roll and roll it, and then tell us what type of damage it is, and also how much damage it does.
Mhm.
And we'll say everyone has 3 bonds between it. We didn't establish them prior, but we'll say we all have 3 bonds.
It's fire damage, and
Okay.
then so it would be the roll that I already did, the high roll.
Yeah, so the
Okay,
higher
so
of your
it's
dex or insight there.
yeah, so it's 10. And then it's
Okay.
fire damage.
Cool. Uh, and the space drakes don't really enjoy fire damage. So yeah, it after missing twice, you would see like the calibration lock in, and there is a really strong hit that goes off here, hitting this space drake right in the face, and that brings it over to the last on our team.
Yeah,
So Gian, yeah.
I oh my gosh. Knowing it's so weak, it feels like a waste to spend more magic on it.
Mhm.
So she picks up her staff as if she's going to cast something and then instead stabs it through the window to bonk it in the head
Okay.
as I get to attempt to give it a bonk. It's not my strongest suit, but we'll see.
Hey.
That is willpower plus willpower. Oh, I rolled 2d10 for this, so it's actually not bad. 12,
Okay.
and highest roll was it was a 10 and a 2. So
Okay.
10 plus 6, that is 16 points of bonk damage from my staff.
What does it look
Nice.
like as you bonk it to death?
uh, I
Yeah,
think,
Shimmer did a lot here.
yeah,
It was
Shimmer did
hanging
do a lot.
on. Yeah.
I uh I give Shimmer that encouraging like go get him boy. And
Mhm.
Shimmer, blows some fire, and before this Drake can like react from the fire in its face, as it clears its eyes, it just sees like a piece of wood just coming at it. As it's just a really hard, like, as if, this is gonna sound so stupid, but like, when you're like unclogging a toilet and you just like, with
Yes.
both hands, like
Uh-huh.
that, but to the side, as
Okay.
the larger part at the top of her staff connects with this Drake's face. And when she brings it back into the ship, you just see the Drake kind of like falling from the air as she gives a thumbs up to Shimmer. Like, look at that teamwork. We did it.
And yet, as your staff comes back in and the claw goes, the window re-seals itself back up. The bay door opens for Satruna to jump back in and not be stuck out in the cold vacuum of space. And you all are able to successfully land, unless Arlo had a reason to do another lap anywhere.
No, Arlo did an extra little barrel roll just because they were like doing so good, and then they land, and that's it.
Yeah, and then when you land, you would hear just like the loud thumbing of machine work on machine work. And there's a lot of heat here, and you can see that not only is the heat generated from being the center of the sun, which let me roll a d6 to ask this question. Yuri, who granted you all the heat-proof armor that is allowing you to traverse up here?
Oh. It was one of our first travels together. We went through a piece of, I think, desert. And Shion had never been in the desert before. She's from like islands that are literally frozen solid. And she was dying. Like the two of you, you know, like that SpongeBob where they go into Sandy's house for the first time. It felt like that. The two of you were still walking normally for the most part. Like, yeah, it's hot, but you know, summer's a thing. Not for Shion. And you had to half drag her across this deserty landscape to the nearest town oasis. And I think there was a shop there with a whole bunch of magical things. We didn't have enough money um, to buy them. It was really expensive because they were selling out because, you know, it's getting so much hotter. But the shopkeep, this old man, took pity upon us just seeing Shion literally just like desiccating into the ground um, and asked that if we would um, kill this, like, think of like the worms from Dune and kill one of the worms that have gotten a little too close to their oasis town, that you would give us the armor in compensation. And we knew that that armor was worth way more than killing a dune worm, but we took it. And you know, Shion would have never forgiven you if we hadn't taken it. And I think that that is honestly what let us even survive the rest of our trek across the desert plains.
You would all think back to that merchant in a deep generosity as even the ship door opening, just a heat wave, not like the worst because it's very dry heat, but it's a very hot, dry heat, very similar to a desert, goes to all of you. And go ahead and put fire resistance to all your character sheets for Yuri's amazing
Hell
storytelling there.
yeah.
You'll all be resistant to fire.
Yes.
But yeah, and so as you step out and look around, you would just see like one, the heat, but also two, the thrumming of machine work, as nobody was ever able to tell how the sun itself managed to keep absorbing enough mana from all of the anima around the world. People know that in like the traditional sense, when people die, if they choose to, they can send their anima to the sun to be reborn with it when the sun resets itself. Part of the concern was that no one was being reborn because the sun was hoarding everything. And so after the sacrifices, well, not sacrifices, after the willing offerings were given up, no one was really sure how the sun was continuing. And you see here now, it seems to have built itself a mechanical heart that is absorbing the mana of itself and giving it back to itself, keeping it running on an endless cycle. That is the loud thrumming you hear. What would you all be thinking in the moment? Or doing? What's up?
Citruna's long, hard look, scanning the environment, getting a lay of the land, of the sun.
I think that Arlo would be like, they would just be like hype getting off the ship, and there's like a little skip in their step, and they're like, oh my god, did you see what Shimmer did? That was so cool. We are gonna nail this. It's gonna be great. and they're like so excited, and they like pat Shimmer, and Shimmer is, I'd imagine that they have like a fan, like an exhaust fan or something, and it's working overtime now because it's so hot. And like because Shimmer like tried all that fighting. And so you can hear like the like kind of like if a CP is like running Sims 2, it's like it sounds exactly. I'm sorry, that was so specific.
No, everyone got it. That was
Sorry.
exactly
My
the right
mind's
thing.
eye.
Yeah.
Exactly
No,
what you
we
meant.
know what you mean.
Yeah, that's exactly what Shimmer sounds like right now. Is there like, you know what I mean? And Arlo's like, all right, let's do this. Like we have to go in with that energy. That's the attitude that we need.
Yeah. I think Shion looks at like our poor little mechanical friend in pity because she's like, I know exactly what you're going through. As she thinks back, right, on her desert adventures and holds her hands out. Um and Shimmer knows that she is very cold. And so if it flops on by, she sort of holds her hands up cupped for it to land a little bit and cool down. Um, and I think she'll just walk forward and look around with Shimmer in her outstretched hands. She still won't pet it or hug it the way that you do, but she will hold it now. Their hands outstretched in front of her, of course, but she will hold it down.
And you'll see like Arlo just be like so excited about it, but not like they don't want to like ruin the moment. So he's just
I
like,
try not to be weird
yeah,
about it.
yeah. And I think Arlo would like look and be like, oh my god, and just like whisper it, but try to like keep it to themselves.
Then yeah, as you all are going down, I think the most mechanically minded of you is probably Arlo. But everyone is welcome to be a supporter in this check if you want. Can I get just an insight plus insight check from everyone to try and navigate how the interior space here works?
That's a 7.
Okay. So what is Citruna doing that distracts them from being able to like notice all of the inner workings here? What do you think?
He's blinded by the light and just turning it everywhere. He just keeps moving, like bumping into everyone else because he's not
Very
used to
fair.
how bright it is. 'Cause it's darker on the third moon because it's the furthest from the sun on the main turtle planet. You know,
Mhm.
it's yeah.
A fact about the world we made to reveal the planet is a turtle swimming through space. The planet that some of our cast are from. Yeah.
I
Shion, what was
got
your roll?
a 14.
Okay, good. So we'll add a +1 to Arlo's roll. And what are you doing to like really notice things here or help Arlo notice things?
I think it's her like asking questions, something that has unfortunately rubbed off onto her from Arlo. And having seen them tinker on Shimmer and on other devices that have helped them out a lot, like we've made bombs in our time, you know?
Mhm.
We'll be asking, like, is that supposed to be there? Does that is that taking things out or into itself and just asking questions like that because she doesn't know, but hopefully some of that would help Arlo notice something.
Yeah. And Arlo, what did you get?
I got an 11, a 6, and a 5.
Nice. And then
Yeah.
+1 would bring it up to a 12 then.
Mhm.
Yeah. So yeah, as these questions are being asked of you, you would see like pipes and valves, you'd see levers and switches, and you would see that, especially on the question of like, is that taking it in or out? They don't seem to be moving laterally like to and from or up and down. Some of them are, but some of them seem to be moving more in circles, like they're generating something. And after a bit of noticing, you'll see there's like a small flame start growing in the center of it. And after a second, like a flame elemental appears and then is immediately crushed, and you see the life force of it get pulled back into the sun. And it seems to be generating its own, like, the elementals it would normally birth onto the ground are being used to keep its mana sources up. And these inventions seem to go all the way down a tunnel, a very like hot orange tunnel. You're walking on liquid fire, and you can just see these things, these pipes leading you deeper in.
I think um I think Arlo's brow would furrow like the second that they see that happen. And they would kind of like, even though like 10 seconds ago they were so happy, they'd be like, I knew it was bad, but I didn't think it was so barbaric. And he would just like laser focus and be like, this isn't how things are supposed to be, in response to like answering all the questions. And they'd be like, this isn't how it's supposed to go at all. And then they would kind of like put more emphasis in their walking, like they're much more like serious now. um and I don't think they would really elaborate much more, because I think seeing something like that is not something that like in all their well, in not in comparison but in all their years, that's something that like shouldn't be happening and it shouldn't exist. So they're just like uncomfortable now in a way that you guys haven't really seen before.
I think Shion just gives like a worried look back to where Citruna is. Um, in regards to Arlo and how they seem to be reacting to this place before they follow them down the corridor as well. Still just holding um, Shimmer just in their outstretched palms.
And Citrina just shrugs.
Yeah, if you let your attitude sink on Moon 3, you're all messed up.
Yeah,
Oh.
if you let your attitude sink on the third moon, like, you go down 5 levels and you get the shaking condition. It's just how it is.
Just how it is. And on that, we will take a short 5 to 10 minute break, and we'll see you on the other side for part 2 of our adventure. See you then. Bye. Welcome back, everyone. We're here to kill the sun because it's bad and evil and causing a real IRL heat wave. But for those of you who are joining at the break, we'll give a little bit of a summary. Our characters, who we have Citruna, Prince of the Third Moon, Shion, Ice Elf of the Forgotten Icelands, and Arlo, a guy, are all on an adventure that they have been going on for months, if not years at this point, to develop enough skills and find enough resources to eventually one day reach the sun, where they're planning to kill it, because we are currently in the era of the seventh sun. The seventh, because every couple of years the sun is supposed to regenerate itself, taking all the souls that have been offered to it to create rebirth and life and allowing people to be reborn into the world as the sun is reborn, starting a new era. The seventh sun, however, is being evil and doing bad things, like not reincarnating and not letting itself die, which is mean and bad and causing an eternal heat wave that's fucking with the ice and the plants and the color and also just where people live. So our adventurers have made it here to the sun, where they have discovered that the way it's keeping itself going after the willing participants in the cycle have no longer engaged is that it is artificially created mechanisms within its own heart that are allowing it to create its elementals and immediately drain them of their life, re-inviting it into itself. And that's kind of where we're at. Arlo had seen this unnatural cycle and got more quiet than they had been prior, and led the charge of it into the center of the sun with their two companions behind them. And players, I turn it back to you.
So this is what the sun looks like on the inside. I mean, because like you look at it and you know it looks like original. I mean, you shouldn't look at the sun, but this is. Let's kill it.
Shion just gives you a look. It's like, really? Right now, can you look at Arlo? This is clearly affecting them somehow. But they just give you the look and try to communicate that without saying anything out loud. So Arlo doesn't hear.
Normally, Citruna would get that, but as established, he was stumbling around. It was a little bright for him, so he isn't quite getting the look as he's trying to recover from
The
being blinded
glare.
by the light.
Yeah.
From the glare. He's looking for his sunglasses.
I think with the silence, Arlo would like snap back into themselves, and they'd like smirk a little, and they're like, "Yeah, you definitely shouldn't look at the sun head on. It's like actually really bad. You can ruin your eyes forever." But do you guys like? I mean, you barely even know what the sun looks like. You're so far, but neither of you guys. You're so much older and wiser and supposedly smarter, but neither. I guess I'm like the sun guy. Is that all you need to know is it shouldn't be happening like this, all right? And I really hope you don't look at the sun, because when you're older, it will be bad for you. You can get damaged like forever.
Already pretty old.
Okay, but you still would get older, and you have parts of your, I don't know if you have retinas, but that would matter later. You know what I mean?
Famously, the third moon, elves do not have retinas.
Fascinating. Just blank coding eyes.
Yeah.
Cool.
JK. No, they
Hey, I was gonna let it run. I was gonna let you have it.
No, that's one of the differences of my character trait where like I will just say shit straight face, but it's a total lie.
Yeah, like drop bears in Australia. That's what I pictured. You know. So I think Arlo would hear the famously on the third moon thing and just like roll their eyes and like keep walking, but clearly like now they're like a little bit more. They're still walking like really firmly though. And they'd be like, "Thank you for holding Shimmer. I don't think he's ever been anywhere this hot. And I can't imagine you have either."
Oh, no. Not at all. I think I went from the coldest place on this world to the hottest. And I am not enjoying it at all. I don't reckon Shimmer is either.
And Arlo would like look back and like pat Shimmer on the head and be like, Do you guys think it's gonna blow up? Do you have a plan for if it blows up?
But aren't we here to blow it up?
Well, we're here to
Isn't
kill
Yeah.
that?
it. We're here to kill it, but we don't know if it will blow up. Is the ship? Do we have a? I really want to go home with you when you're done, so we can see all that cool stuff. But if
Yeah, I didn't
Oh, are you
sign up
asking if we are going
for a
to
casual
die
mission.
here?
Yeah. I didn't sign up for that.
No,
I
not
also didn't
planning on
think
it.
that far ahead. Yeah.
you guys don't think we should have maybe planned a little bit, is the
We have
ship?
a ship.
I think Xian, I just assumed Xian would figure it out.
We have a ship.
Shall we?
Eat themselves and look
And
at
with-
Arlo.
And with the audacity of we have a ship, can I get a Dex plus Dex check? It'll be stealth. So whoever wants to be your leader, here, let me know.
Arlo's walking in front, so
Yeah.
I'll vote
Cool.
Arlo.
It's Dex plus what?
Dex and Dex.
Oh, okay. Okay.
That went from real excited to real real fast there, my
Because
friend.
I reread what the dice were. Okay, hold on.
I'm glad I'm not the leader. That was a 3 from me.
That's 6.
I got a 10.
Okay, cool. So no help from your allies. So, Arlo, how are you successfully navigating this?
I feel as though Arlo would be like, I think Arlo would at least be familiar with like the setup in theory, just by way of like what their parents have taught them, and like definitely knowing the technology that's involved, since they've kind of I think they would have heard about the sun and learned about the sun and like the previous like iterations that there were, for them to know that like what's happening shouldn't be happening. So I think they're kind of just following the path based on what they think is right and like what they remember from the books and things like that. But they're trying now. I'd imagine that the heat is getting more intense the closer to the core that they get, and as they get closer, they would kind of begin to like crouch down and like be a little bit quieter. Even though like they just did have this moment like arguing in the hallway about I think they would realize that they kind of have to be a little bit more serious. And I think that they're really just following like their intuition, if I'm being honest, and like following the path, since nothing is kind of going in like a straight, like none of the pipes are leading anywhere, and they know that it won't. They're just following like the heat. And I think you would be able to see that they, even though they can survive in this, there's still like sweat on their brow, and like they still have like a little bit of like a nervousness to them that you would have seen earlier on the ship when they were piloting, but they're trying to maintain like a straight face.
Cool. Then the other two, what are you doing to
The
detract
other two.
from that?
Great TV show, by the way. Highly recommend it.
I don't think Xion realizes like we're supposed to be quiet here. And so she's talking to Shimmer. Well, not talking to it, but like saying her thoughts out loud at it. So rubber ducking it, essentially. Then like just, well, I have ice. Maybe I can wrap us up and we get to the ship fast enough. I mean, the sun doesn't have to blow up, does it? If we kill it, it could just sort of fade out. Yes. And just talking to the little bat.
I think when you say fade out, Shimmer's like wings like go down a little bit, like because Shimmer doesn't have eyes. So I think that Shimmer's wings like go down a little bit, and I imagine Shimmer like communicates in like much like a droid from like Star Wars or something. So it's got like these little chirps, and as you're talking to him, I think he would like be responding, and when you say fade out, like there's like a little tiny noise where it seems as though he's like imitating the way you said it, but with like a little like beep boop noise instead.
I love it.
Beep boop.
Just like that.
Yeah.
Wait, how are you not being quiet, Mika?
Um, the sun could implode. I feel like that would be better. I feel like Citrina's trying to talk to Xian, but Xian's focused on Glimmer. But Citrina doesn't want to like break Arlo's concentration. And so, like, sadly, he realizes he's kind of talking to himself.
No.
And so he just kind of keeps talking, hoping someone will respond to him at some point.
Mhm.
It could always implode. Imploding would be better, I think. I've never seen a star implode. I've never seen a star X. Well, no, that's a lie. I did see a star explode. We've got a great observatory on Astoria, the third moon, and it was boy howdy. I don't want to be unexploded. If the sun exploded, I really feel like that would hurt the moons. It would hurt everything. I feel like it has to like implode or stay in its own sphere, like a light that
I
turns
think
off and then
it's
turns back on.
Uh-huh.
I think it's Shimmer that like motions over to like over to where the prince is. And that's when like Xion notices like, oh, he's been talking this entire time.
And while that is going on, Arlo, you would see off in front of you some sort of mech operating control. It's pulling one lever, and like a normal fire elemental is plopping out. Like it's little, very much the bombs from Final Fantasy 7 and 8 and 10. They're like little faces on the guys, and the more you hit them, the bigger they get. And you would see that then it pulls another lever, and it converts like the energy of that one to turn it to blue, and you see like blue flame ones and then red flame ones pumping out again and turning into blue flame ones. You would also know, whether you choose to act upon it or not, this is a soldier type construct
That was gonna
that
be
you
my
could do something with.
question.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh.
Okay, so I think knowing that literally as soon as I see it, I would try to override the Magitech that I'm looking at.
Okay.
Which is 10 mind points.
Mhm.
And I have to, what would I roll? Okay. So it's 10 mind points and I have to roll 2 insight to do it.
Yep. And it will
That's
be contested against the
mhm,
construct you see.
mhm. So let me do that. And I don't have to do anything else like outside of that, right? I just roll
Nope.
the
You
okay.
spend the 10 mind points, then you roll,
Yeah.
and you're going to try and beat a
Okay.
6.
Okay. Oh, okay.
Yeah, it has some good insight, and it just rolled like trash.
Good.
I got a 16. I got an 8 and an 8. You said to I don't know if that matters now, but I think
It does, because that's a crit.
Yes.
So on the crit, you get to do an opportunity. So if you're looking at your sheet, if you go under the cheat sheet option on the bottom,
Mhm.
it has them listed out of what you can do. So on this critical success, the thing you want to happen happens, and you can apply one of these opportunities. So go ahead and read through and let me know what you'd like to add. As I'll narrate the scene for the other trill, you're looking for that. So you would see just like this large, like mechanical machine-like thing pulling switches seems to have been born from like the architecture here itself. Almost like at a certain point, the pipes just teamed up and created something that could run the pipes. And you see it like turning these like fire guys into these blue flames. And I think Shion especially, you would see that they're becoming ice. Like they're getting to that point of fire that it's so hot you don't feel the heat anymore. It would just immediately singe you the same way that like a frost burn does. And you can see that they're trying to convert these fire elementals into ice elementals. And there's just little blobs there.
Oh, that's disgusting.
Mhm.
I don't like that. Does it look like this is all sort of like very factory-esque.
Very factory, yeah. Seems
Okay.
like this entire place is built with construction in mind and like mass production of these elementals.
Hmm.
Did you decide what you wanted to take on your opportunity?
Mm.
Do it.
Well, no,
Whatever you're
because
thinking, just do
there's
it.
so many.
YOLO.
Because yeah, the problem is, I think I won't roll. I think I've narrowed it down, but I
Okay.
think because I'm like, oh, but this could happen, and then this could do
Mhm.
this. So I think I'm gonna take the ones that I have in my head,
Okay.
and I'm gonna roll it. Um,
Nice.
mm, mm,
See, let the
okay.
dice decide so then you don't have to
In
take
our dice game,
responsibility
yeah.
for the consequences.
Okay, so all right. So I think that I think that I'm going to try to do a scan to see
Okay.
if there's a vulnerability in the process of like what's happening. Um I don't know
Yeah.
what how that would work mechanically, but I think
Mhm.
that that's the goal.
Yeah. So you don't even need to roll for this. You just get to do it.
Mhm.
Um, and in the process, I think we'll narrate this because, like, yeah. First, tell me what does it look like as you mentally dominate this construct and force it to work for you.
I think that it would just like full stop, like doing what it's
Mhm.
doing. Like once we see what's happening and like everybody kind of gets in and like literally witnesses what's going on, I think that um in my mind, I'm actually not quite sure how it would work. I didn't think about it. I feel like Arlo might have like a little like I guess they would have like a little trinket thing that they like throw onto the onto it, and in this case what it would do is just full on stop it. And in my mind, like they
Okay.
kind of have different things and they haven't, again, because they're not that successful with when they invent stuff, they don't really know what's going to happen or how it works.
Mhm.
They just kind of try it when they see these constructs and they know that it'll do something to the construct. In this
Mhm.
case it would just stop doing whatever it's doing. And I think if the construct is anything like Shimmer, like
Mhm.
yes, it will still like have its programming in its head, but it's like unable, like maybe it's like glitching and like unable to keep doing what it's trying to do.
Okay.
And stopping midway through like converting these little flame elementals.
Yeah.
And then I would be looking for a vulnerability in that process.
Yeah, so as that happens, you sense it trying to send out like a distress wave, but with its glitching and not able to do anything, it gets somehow to shimmer instead, and you would see a little like printout come out in like the way that this is sent. And from shimmer, you can see that what it's doing, the process itself, could be messed with if you destroyed any of the like pipes, if you destroyed any of the machines or levers, especially if you were to break any of those wheels that like allow things to go through the valves. That would mess it up a lot. Would also make the place very volatile. It would be the same as like shutting down a lot of things that allow a factory to keep running. You would also see that what it's doing here is that by forcing the flames to get hotter, it is making the blue ones uh, they would absorb any ice magic or any cold magic that came for it, but they are then becoming more vulnerable to heat, whereas the heat ones are trying to shed their like their heat thing, where right now they can gain if you attack anything fire with fire, it will heal itself. And they're trying to get higher up so that they can be more easily fed to the sun. Because it's hard to kill fire with fire, but if you can take the fire out of them, you can kill them real quick.
And everybody can see that printout, right? Arlo doesn't
Yeah,
have to. I think that
yeah.
because of what's been happening in the hallway, though, Arlo
Mhm,
would read all of that and really like put it into layman's terms for them, because
mhm,
like we're here with people who've barely seen the sun at all. So
mhm.
I think Arlo would try to explain it. Um, and then they would kind of like look at the printout and be like, "So, what do you guys want to do now?"
I think if there is a way to weaken it before we face it. I would like to take that. I also do not like the idea of it making these things. They are unnatural. So if we can stop it, I think that would be great. We do not know if it can absorb them while we are trying to shut it down. And so if it does not have access to them, we might be able to have an easier time. Do I start just whacking? And she lifts up her staff.
My question is before I do what I want to do. Can we see like the other like the continuation of the hallway after we reach this room? And like
Yeah,
where
and it's
the
like
direction?
glowing like white hot at the end of the hallway going this way.
Okay, so I think that Arlo, as soon as she asked that, I think Arlo would like start directing towards that hallway. And the minute they like reach like the clear differentiation from the room into that where it's getting hotter, they would find a valve. And I have an iron knuckle, and I think that Arlo would just punch one of the valves. Just like exactly where the valve is, they would do that. Um,
Yes.
and I think when they do that, they'd say, "We can whack, but we really got to get a move on if that's the choice that we're making."
Go ahead and roll me might plus might for that. And then the other two, are you attacking or are you taking more of a time to look around this room?
I think I'd want to get a closer look at the little machine that's spitting out these little blue flames.
Then I'll get a double insight from you, please. And Mika?
Mm-hmm.
Can you describe the room to me again?
Mm-hmm. So you were able to be led into this hallway, following the pipes. So here the pipes are like diverting into like a large, essentially theater on the side, where it's spitting out these like red flame elementals, which you had seen prior be like birthed and killed immediately. But then here there's a construct who seems to now be under the control of Arlo, no longer operating a machine that converts them to like blue ice flames. And that's uh, where Shion is going off to look at. There'd also be a lot of like mechanical things on the wall that you probably wouldn't understand. You could attempt to look at and try and get like a sense of them that Arlo has said these could be destroyed to hinder the process, would make it very volatile. Those are on like the wall opposing. All of them are leading towards like a hallway in the back that's like a burning white hot. There's also just a couple cabinets and stuff where they seem to be keeping like backup supplies and things.
My first thought was to cut the pipes.
Okay, cool.
Just because like the pipes, like the elementals are traveling through the pipes is what it sounds like.
It's like raw magic is traveling through them and it's being birthed
Yeah.
as elementals, yeah.
Yeah. I'm gonna like cut the pipes. Yeah.
Cool. Might plus might from you as well, please then. And
My roll
Yuri,
was
what
an
did you get on
11.
yours? Okay. You can see that like the raw mana that's being pumped through and like creating them would just as easily be able to be taken out and made into like mana restoring potions, very similar to things that sellers on Earth have. You also see that from like that command system that's being stuffed there, because your goal is to find how to break it, right? Or how to shut it
I
down.
want to stop the process, yeah.
Yeah.
Entirely.
So you would see that if you tried, essentially, the two options are find the off switch, which wouldn't be that hard, especially with the construct that runs this place already under your control, or flood it so much that it creates something it can't hold and like will essentially like self-destruct without blowing up. It would also then one limit the supply of the mana that could go further on to the next room, but two, it would create like a pool of just liquid magic here on the ground. Could be a good thing for you all if you needed to top up. Could also cause a lot of random ass side effects to happen. To have like this
Love
much
it.
concentrated liquid magic pooling in flame.
Hey, Arlo, can't you just tell your new friend, and she points to the construct, to turn it off? As
Um,
both Arlo and Citruna are mid whacking the shit out of these pipes.
Well, granted, there are other pipes from other machines heading in, and that's what they're going for. Yeah.
yeah. Um, and I think as they punch, I rolled a 9, by the way. It was a
Okay.
6 and a 3, but I think as they punch that valve in the next hallway, they go and they like punch it, and they're like, I could try. And they like stop the punch, or they finish the punch. They walk over, they put their little knuckle back in their pocket, and they like look at the construct and the thing that they put on it, and they just go, turn it off, because they don't know if their invention is going to work. Um, and I'd imagine, I mean, if I'm controlling it, it does work. But
Yeah. Yeah.
they would say, turn it off, and then the thing does what it has to do, and they're like, they like don't use any words, but they're like, and they're so
Okay.
excited because this is the first time that it actually just like listened when he said to do the thing.
You would see like very glitchy in its movement. Like you had seen it prior, like moving very calmly, operating, pulling things, pushing them back. It's kind of like now glitching, like its hand doesn't want to go forward, and it pushes an off switch, and you see like the exit pipe that was creating the fire elementals just die down to a small drip that eventually shuts off. Hey, Prince, what was your attack?
It was a 9.
Okay, cool. So both of our nines here, you're able to dent it. You're not able to really break the pipes that are flowing into this next room. There's nothing preventing you if you want to attack again. You do see that one of the power sources, or one of the like things that would then feed whatever's at the end of this hallway, has been turned off. If you want to only have it be one, you can. If you want to try and break it more, you can. Also, with all of your innate understanding, you could go like follow these pipes backwards to their source of origin and maybe find a safer way to shut it off. But with the amount of disruption that's already happening, you know that any sort of like opportunity of chance of cover or like not awareness has already passed. So it's up to you if you want to like go slow but let the other things know you have more time here, or just say fuck it and blow shit up.
I'm not the planning one. Arlo, what do you think?
I like saying I'm not the planning one when I think it's clear none
Yeah.
of us are.
Yes.
I
The
think,
secret fourth option was the
yeah.
planning one.
um, I think we've made our decision, and I think Arlo would just be gunning it towards, because I think in Arlo's mind, like seeing what's happening is like really bothering them, because it's like,
Okay.
you shouldn't be using technology this way. This is not well, technology is not natural, but to them, like this isn't what it should be for. And I think
Mhm.
they're thinking of like all the people that this is affecting, and like all of the creatures it's affecting, and it's like really starting to bother them. So I think they like, we made our decision and we just have to keep going. Maybe we
Uh,
try to avoid explosions on the way.
Mhm.
Shion would call out to you, like, wait, wait, I want to see if I can do something for us before we go.
And Arlo would
Um,
stop and wait.
and I want to, now that this mana and this magical power isn't flowing through the pipes because it has stopped, um, wherever it is condensing, so we can break that to get to it and hopefully top up our MP before we go in and
And uh Satrina, are you taking a second swing or are you letting these pipes be?
I'm going to let the pipes be.
Cool. Then I will not start a clock of impending doom. Uh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
I actually would like to Bitch, where are you? Um I can do elementism and spiritism rituals. right?
Okay.
Which let me do magical things that aren't part of like my
Your character.
spells, as
Yeah.
long as I sort of take the time and the cost to do so.
Mm-hmm.
I can also get aided by them to make this go by faster. And the idea is uh, that it's not going to be a complicated thing. I just want to use my ritualism as like a complementary thing to
Okay.
safely siphon some of this mana that was going to be turned into elementals
Mm-hmm.
to me and my friends. Yeah,
Nice.
because raw magic
Uh,
is never,
yeah.
just,
You don't
you
want it
don't
just
just
laying
fetch
all
it.
over the place. Yeah.
Yeah.
Then yeah, I would say with the time you have, you could definitely do this ritual. You would need your friend's help to like get it going off fast enough. So one,
Mhm.
if not both of you, will provide support here. But yeah, and I'd imagine it's a small ritual with small effect. In
Yep.
terms of where it falls on the table. So I believe that's only what 10 mana you have to spend for it.
Um, yes,
Okay.
which is less than what I'm currently missing. So the ritual would top me up, and then I'd spend the
Mhm.
10 mana to complete it, essentially. But I'm missing 25, so missing 10 is still better.
Yeah. Cool. And then to roll
Yeah, and
for
so
it,
the two of
it's Mhm.
yeah. So I go ahead and roll the discipline that I'm using for the ritual.
Mhm.
I have between elementalism and spiritism because of the classes that I took.
Mhm.
They both have the same attributes, so it doesn't matter. For me, it's
Okay.
my insight plus my willpower.
Okay.
I will be using spiritism because raw mana um, is feels more spiritual than elemental.
Mhm.
Bum. And then I do believe them helping me works the same way as a
Yep.
normal help
The,
thing
the
does.
normal help. So it'll be the
Hmm.
same wisdom, not wisdom, willpower plus insight, beating a 10.
Yeah, thankfully, I get to roll 2d10s for
Mhm.
that. Um, the first one was a 2, but
Okay.
the second one was an 8. So that isn't
Okay.
exactly a
So you
10.
hit your 10. Did either Citruna or Arlo hit a 10?
What are we rolling? Two
Insight
insights?
and willpower.
I got a 7.
Okay.
Ooh, I got above a 10. It's
Perfect.
14.
Then yeah, as Shion is casting this ritual, what is it about your lunar magic that's able to help feed this through?
For me?
Yep.
Yes. So the
Oh
ritual
boy.
is for me to take the pool of raw mana that was being turned into elementals and
Mhm,
instead safely, that's what the ritual is for, safely
Mhm.
feed it into us to replenish our MP to top
mhm.
us off. So how do
Okay.
you aid in that?
Oh boy. My axe, which is imbued with moon magic, I touch it it's very odd. Like I touch it like flat ways, like on top of your head. Like boink. And then like there are some crystals encrusted in there, and that kind of activate and add some additional mana into you as you cast this ritual.
Yeah. And Yuri, correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure the mana cost comes before the effect, right? On your ritual? Like you have to spend it regardless of if it works or not.
I do spend it regardless.
So then
Yeah,
you would
so that
have
would go
spent it prior,
first.
so you gain back
Hmm.
all of it. Yeah. You're not down.
That is
Everyone is
true.
fully topped up on their MP. Everyone has what they need to have.
Yeah, good
Uh
catch. Love it.
yeah. And you all are, unless you want to attack the pipes, which is a perfectly viable solution.
Yeah.
Above game, I did say it would start a clock. Luckily, right now we have no clocks going, but if you destroy the pipes that are keeping this place together, a clock will start. Could benefit you if everything implodes, but a clock would start. You all are able to go down the hallway towards the white hot glow, which you all would imagine is the heart of the sun.
We want to get out of here alive, Sean.
Hey,
I did say part of
I'm
the
just
plan was avoiding the explosions
We can just,
or
kill him
implosions.
and fade him out. That'd be great.
cool. Then yeah, you all start the journey down the final hallway. What memory would your character be thinking on as potentially the last thing they'd think before this quest comes to an end, or they do? We'll go in reverse order. So, Arlo, what is your thought?
Um, I think Arlo is similar to when we started this journey today. I think Arlo is thinking about when he first met his well, not his new friends, but when he first met them and they became his new friends. And I think he's reflecting on like how him and his parents genuinely did not think that he would like make friends when he like went out to explore, because he's not a good monster hunter because he tries to befriend the monsters, so he's not the best. But all he wanted to do was like meet people and meet like see new creatures and things like that. And then he met these two people who they come from entirely different worlds than him, and he was so intimidated at first, but he tried to still have like that lighthearted air about him. And even though one of them is from somewhere that he's never even seen outside of like books and things like that, he tried to not let that kind of affect how he saw her. And in his mind, this is now, he thinks like everything that he knew about the ice elves and like how like closed off they were and how scary they were, like that's not true, because now he met somebody that like wants to see the outside world, and she really likes snacks, and like he's good at giving snacks. So for him, he's like, oh, you know what I mean? And that's, he's just thinking about like that first time. And then he's he's thinking about Citruna and how like he thought that this was going to be like some intimidating bossy guy because he's a prince, and like Arlo tried to like impress him with bowing and stuff at first, but it didn't really, he's not that kind of guy at all. And he's silly and he's fun, and it allowed Arlo to kind of be themselves like no matter what. And I think he's just kind of thinking of that feeling, and he thinks it's a little bit ironic that you get, when you think of your friends in that way, you get this warm fuzzy feeling, but neither of his friends are like, warm literally. And they don't come from warm places, and now he kind of doesn't like the idea of being warm. It's so hot and he's so very sweaty. And that's like then what it turns into is like this practical like, oh, I can't be thinking of these fuzzy feelings because it's disgustingly hot right now.
Nice. Then to Shion, what is your final? Well, maybe not final, but what is your thought
You make
entering
it
into?
sound like we're going to die.
Hey, there's a strong chance you are.
I hate it. Thanks. She has another adventure to go on after this, okay? Um, I think for Xian, as they are walking to where they assume the heart of this sun is, and she's probably walking towards the back of the group, and looking at them both walking in front of her. She thinks back to how she met them. um, and when she left uh, the frozen islands, everybody treated her like at arm's length and so odd, and they were like afraid of her, and she just wanted to ask for directions and what is this and what is that, because she's never seen 90% of the things that populate this world, because she hasn't been outside of her frozen islands in 100 years. And meeting both Arlo and Citruna, they are two of the only people who did not treat her differently because of her heritage and because of where she comes from, right? They just, treated her like a person. And in their own way, she thinks that they expected to be treated differently because of who they are and where they come from. But she, having no knowledge of where they come from and what any of it means, didn't. And she thinks that that is what made them treat her the same way too. Um, and yeah, she is just the whole like, damn, like it really did have to be us three. It's like it couldn't have really been anybody else. Like the fact that we found each other in our travels, like we were meant to come and do this. And that thought gives her hope, and it gives her like a little bit of strength walking forward into this unknown. Yeah. Because she's in her head is like, there's no way we still have things to do after
Mhm.
this.
And finally, Citruna.
He thinks about first his home life. He is the third prince of the third moon. Prince used gender neutrally here. He has an older sister and older brother. His sister is set to take over the throne. She's very political minded. His brother is very into the arcane arts, the magic, for defense, never for attack. The two of them are, yeah, very defense minded. And so Citruna was seen as the silly one for practicing with the axe, um, for wanting to say, damn the man. Um, and he always assumed nobody would really miss him, which was only partially true. He was only missed when he caused some trouble from joining in some war or another, and eventually he was exiled, which he never really told the other two. He can't really return to the third moon, and he remembers that, you know, Arlo and Shian were the first people who didn't think he was silly for wielding his axe, for who he was. They just accepted him, and this adventure has been the best time of his life.
Nice. And those are the thoughts you have as you enter into a white hot antechamber. The ground is still just as solid, but as you step on it, it like splashes up just liquid metal as you're walking onto it. The like walls around you are all glowing with the same thing. It looks like it's just a bunch of fluorescent lights until you realize that this is just the core of the sun, and like the heat of the metal is turning it into this bright white fluorescent color itself. You see one pipe that would be leading in where it's got like just drippage coming out. Nothing's happening in the other pipe. And there's a large flame figure inspecting it, trying to figure out what's happening here. As from the other pipe, you see three lanterns drop out, and three like arcane lanterns start looking around them, trying to fix it. Can I get a stealth check from all of you? Who wants to lead it? And also, we got to hydrate, so everyone do a hydrate.
Oh, I just finished my hydration.
Oh my god, hi beard.
Hydrate in spirit, Mika.
Okay, so what do you roll for stealth?
Dex and Dex.
And okay.
I do agree. Drippage is a gross word.
7.
That's the fun thing about DMing. I don't remember saying that word, but I'm sure I did.
You did.
I'm sure I did. But when
It's
you're
just
describing scenes, you're like, I don't know what I'm saying.
it's just
Yeah.
Dex.
Just Dex.
Okay.
Dex plus Dex, so 2 Dexes.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you
Yeah,
always
every
roll
roll in this
two
game
dice.
is 2 die.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got a 10.
Nice. And?
And a 10.
Okay, cool. Let's see if you're noticed. Okay, that is an 11. So you'll see that this flame figure just looks over to the group. Oh, you must be the ones ruining my plans. A shame. I'm excited to watch you all die and feed me. And then we're gonna get a group initiative roll. So who wants to be our leader?
Oh my god, it wants to eat us.
Who wants to eat you?
I can lead us.
Okay, so Mika, you will be needing to beat the initiative here, which, despite being super scary, is only an 8. So,
Okay.
Insight Dex together, the other two are supporting. So we'll get the other two rolls first to see what you get to add to this. But you're going to try and beat an 8.
Okay.
So. And the other two, you're trying to beat a 10.
Yeah. 8.
And yes, Jordan, every roll in this game is to die.
I switched dice thinking it would help. It did not.
No.
I don't think y'all won't be able to help. It's a 3. I got 3.
Okay.
So the most we could get is 5.
And what did we end up getting?
I got 15.
Okay.
Maybe I should have been. I should have kept.
Hey, it happens. So in this case, the enemies will be starting because you did not beat the highest initiative of the enemy side. So you see this like fiery person. They seem to just be shifting and seem to be like as just mana is falling through the sky, taking on the appearance of whoever's soul they're consuming to stay alive. So their appearance is ever shifting and like the visage is changing each time. And you see the 3 lanterns fly up behind them in like a triangle formation, seeming to be acting very similar to Shimmer as arcane lanterns of their own. And we're gonna go. The lanterns will attack first. One of the lanterns will keep the same order. So 1, 2 will be Arlo. 3, 4 will be Shion. 5, 6 will be not Citrell. That's my character. Citruna. That is a 2. So Arlo, this is going to come straight for you. What is your defense?
Where is that?
It will. So if you look at your armor, it will say
Oh,
either
yes.
+1 or something, or it'll be a straight number. If it has a plus, it'll be Dex plus that number. If it's a straight number, it's just whatever the number is.
Oh, I guess I only have. I'm sorry. Where is it? It's under my equipment. Yeah.
Yep. So if you
Oh,
look
I
at the
only
sheet,
have. Oh, it's 7, and then I have a magical defense of 11.
okay, so what 7 is your physical defense?
Okay, yeah. Oh no,
Cool.
and under experience points it says my defense is 13 though, and then under equipment it says the other things.
Yeah, the experience points is adding them together regardless.
Okay.
It should just be 7. Mika and I discovered that earlier, and he's like, "I'm coming into the session with a 19 defense," and I went, "No, you're not.
Man.
Let what's happening." So a 7 in that case is what it is trying to beat. So it's Dex and it's Insight. Very fun, very fun. We got a 7 and a 8 on the die, so that does hit. And let's see what kind of damage it's going to do to you. It's a 1, so it'll be doing bolt damage, or lightning in this case. So 8 plus 5 is 13. So you'll take 13 points of lightning damage as just like this little arcane lantern flying above its head charges up and then fires a beam directly into Arlo. Someone on this side who would like to go next?
Oh no, me. Seeing as there is magic being flung, and wow, those little things are fast. She is going to do something similar to what she did with the drakes, but this time, the on the 3 of us, you see these small crystals of ice start to appear, but instead of solidifying, it feels like a gossamer veil over your bodies. made of
Mhm.
ice that isn't cold. As I cast Aura, um, I project my magic and soul directed to surround my targets, shielding them from dangerous magic because I saw them being attacked with magic.
Mhm.
So now our magic defense is 12.
Nice. Okay.
If you
And
do
does it have
have
a
a
duration,
higher
or is it
one, it's for
also like
the
till the
this
scene ends? Okay.
yes.
Cool. 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 Nice. Cool. That's your turn. Uh, we'll have another lantern go. That got another 2. So coming right back for you, but now you have a magic defense of 12, so it's going to be a lot harder to hit than your prior score. 7 and 7 will still do it, though, on a 14. It'll be a 5, which is ice damage. And so 7 plus 5 is 12. So 12 points of ice damage as the second lantern charges up a different type of beam and just pew right into you, hitting. How is Arlo looking?
About halfway as good as they were. Actually,
That's okay.
exactly halfway as good as
Okay.
they were when we got here. And a
Which
little
means that you have.
crisis just got checked off
Yep.
when I put in my HP.
Yes, meaning you have entered crisis, which for your character sheet doesn't mean much. There are some abilities and stats that people have where when they're in crisis, they do like a lot more damage or they can move more often. For Arlo, it's just a bad time. Arlo is not doing well.
Sean asked
Uh,
me if I wanted a shield, and I said no. Arlo wouldn't use one. And now I'm regretting that.
Love it.
but we're back to your team. So either Arlo or Citruna, who would like to go?
Does Arlo have a way to heal themselves or anything?
No, no,
You would
but
know
but
that I
I
can.
Mhm.
I do
You
have
would all
But I
have
just
something.
some
went.
potions with you. Mhm.
Yeah.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
okay.
Yeah, you would have
Um,
2 of the potions. I don't remember if I mentioned that in the session 0 or not.
I do.
Okay.
Mhm.
You can. I don't know. I think Arlo would be like keeled over. They just got hit back to back, so they're like, ah, you know what I mean. And I think Shimmer
Okay.
Shimmer would. I think Shimmer would like fly to their. Yes, that's exactly how they would be. Like they're trying to be tough, you know,
But as stated, they are just a guy.
exactly. And I think
Yeah.
Shimmer would like try to go to their side and
Mhm.
like if they're keeled over, you know when like a dog is like if you're crying and a dog like tries to like nuzzle, you know, I feel like that's what Shimmer would do to try to keep them from like fully leaning over. But
Mhm.
they're like, I don't think I would do the next thing because it's impossible.
Also, I forgot to mention this, you still have
Hmm.
that construct under your control. So that is another thing that is operating on your team. So if you want it to be the construct's turn, let me know and I can tell you what it can do. It mostly just attacks. It doesn't have magic, it doesn't have a lot of good stuff, but it hits and it hits hard. So whenever you guys want the construct to take its turn, just let me know.
Okay. If you want that to
Mhm.
happen, I could do that before you also.
Yeah, but you guys don't know that besides having like our like inventory points and being able to like have potions, um Shion can heal. They usually leave it to like when things are very dire and a potion won't do, just because it is something that they don't usually do and is hard for them. But they can do it.
Okay. For my turn, then I am going to cast Acceleration. You bend the
Okay.
fabric of time until the spell ends. The target gains the ability to perform a single additional action during each of their turns. Once it's done this twice, the spell ends. Do either of you feel like you'd really benefit from that?
Can you use it on the
I
construct?
think I think you should take it and smack
Okay,
things twice.
cool.
Absolutely.
I will do
More
that.
damage.
And then that is my turn.
You gain the immediate second use.
Do I?
You do.
Okay, cool.
Mhm.
In that case, I am going to attack and use Blade Storm, spending 10 mind points to do a multi.
Nice. How many targets can you target?
2.
Okay, and who are you going for?
I can go for. There are 2 lanterns.
2 lanterns that have attacked, 3 lanterns total, and then the sun itself.
Okay. I'll take care of 2 of the lanterns. Then A and C.
Yep, for both of them, you'll be trying to beat an 8 to attack.
Oh, I did not have my laptop plugged in.
Oh no.
I thought I did. Nope. No, I did not. Okay, can you repeat that? Sorry.
Yep.
I'm freaking out.
For both of them, their armor here is only 8, so that's what you're trying to beat to hit them.
Okay. So might and might. Are my d10s. So that is a 7 and a 3 for 10.
Which is higher than 8. Nice job.
Yes, and then the highest is the 7 plus 14
Okay.
for
21?
21 damage.
Nice. And as you hit, you can tell that these lanterns, because they're so superheated, their metal isn't as strong as it should be, and they're vulnerable to physical slashing attacks, which means that they're going to take double that damage. So,
Oh,
which
that's
brings up to
nice.
42, right?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, lanterns A and C are crashed to the ground, completely taken out of the initiative count.
Cool. Oh, then I add a +3 to my attack. Not that that matters. Yeah.
Not that it matters. Cool.
They
we
are
pass it,
extra crushed.
we pass it over to team, should probably die. Lantern B had already taken its turn. Lantern C was killed, which means that the sun itself is going to act. It looks to all of you and it's like, oh, you have some skill. That's nice. I imagine that's how you got here. A shame no one will know, and no one will ever hear your story. And it's going to attack all 3 of you. So can
I
I
don't like
get...
him.
Cool, I don't care. Can I get all of your attacks here? It is magic, so it would be 12 for everyone, right, Yuri?
Mm-hmm.
Cool, so insight plus willpower. Nice, nice, nice. That is a 4 plus a 9, which brings it to a 13, which will hit all of you. 9 is a higher roll, and it's going to do 29 fire damage to all of you. But because of your armor, that's halved, bringing it down to, we'll say 14.
14. Mm-hmm.
14.
14.
Just
Cool.
still a lot.
I regained 4 mind points.
Okay.
And then was it an even number?
It was
That
a
was
13.
29.
It was not even.
Ah,
Well, no, the attack
Dang it.
itself is 13.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
one day I'll get to
cool.
use counterattack.
One day, you literally have a 50% chance, and it's only roll. It has rolled even, just not against you. It's rolled even against the other 2. But yeah, that's all it can do this round. So can I? All that's left up, we got Arlo or we got Construct. Who would you like to go first?
The Construct's gonna go, I think.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Arlo, I think, is like trying to take a breather because they are, you know,
In a rough spot, in a real bad spot.
I said they said half the men they were, and then that got cut into half. So I think the Construct. I think that Arlo wouldn't have acknowledged that the Construct was following them the whole time, because this is the first time that this has like worked the way it's supposed to. And so when that last hit lands, they like hear the Construct like running in, and it's like doom doom doom, and because it's running and it's not built to be running. And I think Arlo would like they'd like look up and they'd be like, oh, just a little bit, but they like can't emote and like make sound. And I think the Construct would just come in swinging. And I think there's there's 2 lanterns left and the sun.
There are 1 lantern and the sun.
I think that the construct would go towards the sun immediately. I don't know. I don't have the information for that construct at all.
I've got it. I'll handle it because I didn't want to introduce a third character.
Yes, yeah.
This one shot that you're playing for the first time. I will handle the construct for you. So in order to attack the sun, the construct is rolling might plus might. It is trying to beat the defense of the sun, which is a 9. So it's got a pretty good chance. Do you want me to roll the d10s, or would you like to roll the d10s?
I will roll them, I think.
Cool.
I
So
think
2
I haven't
d10s
been
for me,
doing
please.
terrible. It is a 9. Oops.
9 total. Nice. That hits. And so then, what was your higher roll there?
7.
Cool. So it will do 21 physical damage to the sun, and surprisingly, the sun is slowed. As this sword it has been pulled from like the sun's power itself, has the ability to like harness people's animas and their souls and keep them going. Good thing you all didn't fight it. The sun is slowed as they take that 21 points of damage.
Wait, why was it good that we
Cool.
didn't fight it?
Because this construct could have fought you all. And then you would be going into the final fight slowed if it had hit you. But you aren't, because one of your friends is able to mind control machines. And that brings it around to you all once more, because everybody on that side has taken their action. So Arlo, you're the only one left to act. What's up with your, 1 HP?
Yeah, I have
Please take a
11.
potion. Oh my god.
Yeah, I need to take a
Arlo is
potion.
Giving me anxiety.
Yeah,
Just like-
I have no other option but to take a potion.
Cool. Go ahead and take that potion. I believe it stores 50 HP, correct?
I don't know, because we did not write that down. I didn't even know I had them until.
No worries. That is on me. I
think
forgot
it's
to mention it in your
3
session 0.
inventory points.
3 inventory points, and
is-
it will store 50 HP. Inventory
nice.
points work differently for you, though, Annie, because of your Wayfarer, so don't worry too much about the 3.
Okay.
Mhm. Cool.
That's
your
the
healed.
whole action, right? Like, that's what I can
Yep,
do?
yep.
Okay.
Yep, you have saved yourself. That is what you can do. And that brings us back around. The other team still acts first, but there are a lot less of them. So that brings us around. The lantern is going to go first. We'll see who it goes for. It got a 4, so this time it's going to go for you, Xian. And it is still a magic attack, so that is still a 12 that you are trying to avoid. Nice. And that is a 7 and a 5, which is 13, right?
Damn.
12.
12. It's 12, but it still
12.
hits. It's 12 exactly.
Okay,
I don't
still
know.
hits.
Yeah.
I'm not a math person. Y'all know this. This is why I say my numbers out loud, so chat and you all can correct me. And it's going to be, for you, it's a 4, so it's going to be fire damage. So you'll take half of what this is. And the higher one is a 7. 7 plus 5 is 12, as we established, so you'll take 6 points of fire damage as this little beam charges up and shoots directly at you, hitting the armor, but being absorbed like in a rippling effect from the desert safe where you all have. Who wants to go?
I'll go.
Okay. You have your 2 actions this
So-
round because your spell's still up.
Yes. So I'm going to Blade Storm the sun in the last lantern.
Okay.
Use 10 mind points. Running low on those. And then attack might and might. That is.
Speaking of being low on your might points, I forgot. When these lanterns explode, everybody, including the sun, regains 10 mind points for each one. So you actually, all of you have 20 additional mind points on top of this. Thank you for mentioning that, Mika.
Yeah, these guys definitely did worse, and I rolled a 5.
Okay, a 5 does not hit.
And then with my second action, I'm going to do the. Can I only use blades? Nope, just whenever you perform a melee attack. Sweet.
You're going for joint 9s here. 9 and 9.
Yes, an 8 plus a 5. It's
Nice.
definitely above a 9. 13.
That is above a 9. Cool.
Okay, so that's 8 plus 14, so 22 damage.
Nice. The lantern explodes. Everyone gains another 10 mana. As this construct is crushed out of the air once more. And the sun still is not resistant to any of that. So cool. Nice. The only opposing
And-
force left is the sun. Oh yeah, sorry, Mika, was there more?
Oh no, just my acceleration is over now since I've taken two additional actions.
Thank you for letting us know. Yeah, with nobody else on that side, it's just the sun left. They're going to, in their hand, summon a giant lance, and they're going to try and spear. 6 would be Citruna, trying to spear you with a giant lance. So they have insight plus willpower. Cool. Luckily for you, it's an even number, but I don't think it misses. A 14. What is your physical?
Oh, it hit me?
It hit you,
Yes.
yep.
For some reason I thought I hit Shia. Wow, okay.
Oh.
What are you asking for?
Your physical defense currently.
It would be the 12.
Okay, then yeah.
Or does the spell only affect magic defense?
It's only
The
magic.
new spell is only the magic defense.
11.
Okay, then yeah. Hits, but it's an even number. So if you want to use your counter strike, you are capable of it. But
Sweet.
before you do, you will take 15 points of physical damage.
What's 51 minus 15?
34. 30.
Thank you, Annie.
I lied. It's 36. I'm sorry.
36.
36.
As
Okay.
just this giant lance made of liquid fire stabs into you, and as it stabs in, you can feel that it's fire, but it's much more like condensed metal, very much the same white around all of you, just stabbed right into you. What does your counter strike do?
I rolled an 11. And
Okay.
so it hits.
Yep.
Then I treat the high roll as 0, and so it's only the plus 14. So 14 damage.
Okay. Nice. The sun is down a third. It is in its bottom 2/3 there. And
Nice.
that's
I think,
the only opposing side. So it's y'all.
I think I'm the only one that hasn't gone this round.
Well, since the start of the round, you haven't
a new
gone,
round,
Arlo
yeah.
hasn't gone, and the construct hasn't gone. The only one that has gone is Citruna.
Oh.
Yep.
Nice.
It's just
Do
you
you
all
wanna-
killed all the lanterns, and so now it's a 4v1 fight.
Do you want to go first?
Perfect. Sure.
Okay.
No, not
No?
really.
Okay. I have my plan now that Arlo is
Okay.
healed. Yes.
Do your plan.
Arlo is, now that they're healed and they like saw that their invention worked and they're like so excited that they have this construct under the control, they are going to construct a magic cannon, which you guys have only ever seen one other time, and it was when we fought the Drake and they tried to not fight the Drake. Like the parent of the aforementioned Matt and Max. They tried really hard to not fight it, and then when they saw the chips were down, they used this. So you've only seen it the one other time, and they basically like summon all of their energy from like the lanterns exploding and being healed and blah blah blah, and they create like a giant two-handed cannon. And I'm assuming if the sun is white hot, that is hotter than the blue hot flames that were not able to be affected by ice damage. So I think it's I think I would declare just physical damage with it, because it says I get to pick whichever one. So I think it's just going to be physical damage. And that's just an action with inventory points that I get to use. So
and
then
on the summon, you get to make an attack, right?
Yes, yeah.
Mhm.
And then what do I roll? Because it's Dex and Insight +1, and then upon a hit. So I roll Dex and Insight. Never mind.
Yep.
I'm learning.
Yeah, it's like the game is weirdly
yeah.
worded, but when you say it out loud, you're like, wait, okay, it really
Yeah,
does tell me
once-
what I need to do. It just
yeah.
looks weird. Yeah.
Once you actually look at it, you're like, oh, hold on a minute. Oops. So that's it's a 6. Not. Oh wait, it's a 7 because it's +1.
With your +1, yeah. So it takes a lot to form a cannon, you know. The attention's elsewhere. The first shot goes a little to the side, but that's okay. You'll get him next time. Uh, would
You
you
have
like
the
the
cannon out
construct to
now.
go, or do you want Shion to go?
Shion could
Where
go.
are
I
we at?
think when Arlo misses though, Shimmer lets out like a little chirp that like imitates when he was like, "Oh, you'll get them next time," and then that's like the beeps that Shimmer lets out.
I love that. Um, Shion essentially like holds her hands out in front of her, palm side up, and just thrusts them upwards as um it looks like ice comes out from the ground, which you know isn't actually what happens because the ground is like this molten metal thing. But that's what it looks like as the ice starts to encase the form of the sun. As Shion is going to cast glacies, iceberg
Okay.
on the sun. It just cost me 20 MP.
And there's no roll or anything about it. It just kind of goes. Yo, Ham, thank you so much for the gift subs. That's
Hello.
huge. Yo,
Thank you, Ham.
that's so kind of you. Thank you so much.
Ham.
Yeah, everyone, Yuri and Matt and C Mama and Mika and Keon, all of you can say a big thank you to Ham, who I know is suffering through work and hanging out
Thank
with
you,
us to make their day better. Aw,
Aw, thank you, Ham.
yeah. Shout
Ham's
out to
great.
Ham.
A
Yeah.
pillar of ice envelops your
Mhm.
foe, suddenly dropping their body temperature. The
Okay.
target suffers my high roll plus 25. So I do have to roll to hit it.
Okay.
And damage dealt
And
by the spell does ignore resistances if they have any.
its magic defense is 10. So that'll be what you're
Okay.
trying to hit for a magic spell. Also, welcome in, okay, Steam.
16.
Hello. Yeah, that hits.
Yeah, so 16 to hit. So you see as this ice sort of starts to encase them and then cracks and explodes. And that gives them 35 ice damage.
Okay. Cool.
It's an expensive spell, y'all.
Hey, it's expensive, but it does a lot. Next up is the construct. For our ease and also for my mental tracking, we'll just have the construct go at the end of each turn, so we know that construct restart the initiative. That's cool with everyone.
Sure.
Cool. So construct is going to go. Are you changing its operative direction, or is it still hit the sun with your giant ass sword?
It still hit the sun with your giant ass sword.
Cool.
And that's
Can you go ahead and roll me 2d10 light, please?
7, 8. What is that? 15.
15, yeah, 15, much higher than 9. Cool. What was the higher die there?
8.
8. Perfect. And that's 8 plus 14, which is 22. Remains slowed. Which again is just lowering their dex die here. Cool. We go around to the new turn. The sun is the only person on the other side, but they are still an enemy. You see that they turned white hot, and they are going to essentially absorb the area around them to let their spells overcome resistances. They've seen that you all were not as damaged by the last mega flare that they fired off as you should have been. So you see like them just channeling the raw energy around them from that last pipe that's dripping open to overcharge their spells, and they're going to once again try and hit all of you. But you have a collective thing of 12 still because it's a magic attack, and Yuri gave you that. So we're going to roll a 6 plus a 10. Nope, I lied. We're going to roll an 8 plus... No, I didn't lie. We're going to roll a 6 plus a 10. No. 8. Dex is down to 6. We're good. There's a lot of numbers here. It's a new system. And that is going to be a 10 plus a 2, which is a 12. Mika, does Counter-Strike
yeah.
only work on melee attacks, or is it any attack?
Melee.
Okay, cool. Then you would not be able to retaliate against this. You can also see, very similar to Xi'an here, that the sun is dipping into very expensive mana pools to be able to pull this off. This is not something that they can continuously do, but it is something that they're going to do, and it is going to do each of you 30 points of fire damage not halved.
Jesus.
Oh boy. That leaves me at 6.
I'm also about to go down. I'm so sad.
Well, it is now all 4 of your turns uninterrupted in a row. So, whatever you all would like to do.
Panic heal. Ah!
Okay, panic
I'm
heal
about
via
to
potion or
die.
panic heal via spell?
Spell.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mhm.
You you feel as this hits her and she panics. That's the only way I can describe it. We're panicking here, y'all. And there is a flurry of like ice wind, think very light, like when it snows very lightly.
Mhm.
And you can see the ice flecks in that wind that encases her when she panicked, and for a split second she forgot there was 2 others who would have felt the same thing and sends that to them as well. As this is also very expensive. It's 10 MP per person up to 3. So I'm going to include myself to do the
Mhm.
total of 3, and we'll spend 30 MP and soothe their pain and healing their fatigue if they have any. So essentially, see as these burns get very softly like soothed by the cold wind. Um, and you feel some strength returning to you as those flecks of ice touch upon your skin and get absorbed by your bodies. And everyone recovers 40 HP.
Ooh.
Damn. Good job, snow magic. We love that. Okay. So Xi'an is gone. Who would like to go next?
I think that Arlo would just like not be waiting. I feel like, is that fair? Unless you want to, because they do have a giant two-handed magic cannon in there, and they're
In their
mad. Yeah, in their hands. Like they got hurt, they got healed, and now they're Is that safe for me to? Is that
Yeah, that's
okay?
fine.
Okay. And I think they're just going to try to do it again. And it's why do I left the page so I forget. Oh, it's Dex and Insight again. I guess I did build myself pretty okay. It's an 8 plus 1, it's 9.
9, yeah, that hits their physical defense.
Yes. Okay. So then the damage that it does. Oh, I didn't declare it. It's just going to be physical again.
Yep.
So then it would be 7 plus 10, so it's 17.
Okay, cool. The sun is looking real bad.
Good.
And when it hits, you see Arlo like do a little like happy dance on their feet while they're holding the thing.
Fuck you, son.
Cool. Then that brings us around to Citruna.
Cool. Citruna is first going to cast Acceleration on himself again.
Okay.
Down to 23 MP. And then with that second action is going to use Stolen Time to cast Slow on the sun.
Okay. Cool. That happens. Cool. I get each of you to roll a d10 for me, please.
Oh boy.
Why
7.
though?
Okay.
3.
5.
Cool. Yeah, collectively you beat it. This is above table because if this construct went, this construct would finish the fight, and that feels bad as a GM. So, what does it look like as you all collectively team up your powers to take down the sun? What is your persona end strike attack looking like as you all group beat up the sun in its final fight?
Oh, I feel like I should have just used my axe then. Do we all
Yeah,
just
so
rush it?
I do have something called elemental weapon where I can imbue a weapon with magic. So you see that, Citrina, when I healed you, and you lift up your axe to hit it, the axe itself is also covered in that frost and the icicles from Shion.
Mhm. Arlo, you've got your glass cannon.
Magic
Your
cannon.
magic cannon. Um, I'm I imagine like as you fire it off, I'm riding on that bullet.
That's exactly what I was picturing,
Yeah.
actually. Like, that's exactly what was in my mind. And that's
Yes.
how it would go, I think.
Yeah. I jump off as the bullet hits and then twirl and cleave.
Yeah. And the sun is cleaved in half. You feel immediately the factory seem to shift and turn. Like stars shouldn't move, but what you all know is that the sun is supposed to reset itself and start birthing. And without something to contain it, the rebirth process is starting immediately. And I'm going to start a 4-part clock called Escape. And so in the next 3 turns, because you guys have 3 turns to get out for each room we've passed through, we only need 4 successful checks. And I'm going to ask you all what they are. They could be piloting to get the flight going. They could be insight plus willpower to remember the path back. They could be a stealth check. They could be a tinkering check. Anything you all want it to be, you tell me what check you're making. But across the 3 of you, we need 4 successful checks out of 12. So yeah, Mika, you have a hand up. What's your thought?
No, I was scratching my ear.
Never mind then. So who wants to make our first check, and what are you doing to escape before the sun implodes?
Oh no. Okay. So I'm essentially oh, do we choose what we roll for the check essentially,
You tell
or
me what you want to do, and I'll let
okay,
you know what
cool.
the stat would be. Yeah.
Love it. So I'm essentially going to use my magic. So as as soon as the sun goes down and we feel the shake, we
Mhm.
realize time to run. I do have mechanically a spell called Cleanse, which is for status effects, but narratively, I would like to quote unquote use that to remove any fatigue or anything from the fight so that all of
Okay.
us can run as fast as we can out of here.
Mhm.
And it's like everybody feels fucking great. Like, here is an energy shot straight into your
Mhm.
bloodstream. Let's fucking go.
Go ahead and do I'll say your domain, so your insight plus willpower. And the
Okay.
DCs for all of these checks are going to be 12.
18.
Perfect. So that is 1 spot at the clock field. You all get an energy shot, and you are revitalized to run out of here as fast as you can. Who would like to go next?
Trying to think what I'm actually good at. Anything that doesn't involve insight.
Yeah, and you with your bigger weapon, you could also open a pathway through so we don't have to run around things.
Yeah. Okay. That's what I will do.
So you're
Swing
gonna
my
try
axe and
cut
get
through
things
one
out
of
of
the
the way.
walls to have a faster way through.
Yeah.
Cool. Can I
Just
get might plus
Kool-Aid
might,
Man.
please? Hey, if it works, it works.
Oh, it doesn't work.
No.
Ooh. What did you get?
That's 6.
Okay, yeah. You go to like hit the wall, and as you go to hit it, just a huge flame of that liquid metal shoots off, spraying at you, distracting you from being able to put your entire force into it. Arlo, what are you doing on this first round of escaping?
Wait, question.
Uh-huh.
If the construct would still be with us,
It is,
Mhm.
yep.
could I just use the construct to like follow up on what he just did and see if the
Yeah.
construct would swing at that same thing?
Yeah, and since it's already kind of like hit, I would lower the DC to a 10 there. So if you want to roll
Okay.
2d10 and try and beat a 10.
Okay.
Mhm.
I did not see the 10.
Okay.
I got a
Cool.
5.
Okay. So you see that even though you all are revitalized and ready to go, these walls seem very thick and almost impenetrable with the weapons you have. We are on to round 2. We have 1 of 4
Ooh.
successes. Who wants to
Can
go
I?
next? Hmm.
I don't have the MP for it. Never mind.
Hey, ask, and I might mess with it.
I'm
That
I'm
and
2
Shimmer
MP
can
short.
give you MP as well.
Because
Oh yeah,
Shimmer,
Not
Shimmer
yeah.
could do
Arlo.
it. I could just have
Uh,
Shimmer do it now if you want. Like while
okay,
we're
because I was going to do acceleration to see if that give us an additional turn.
Oh,
yeah,
I would
I
give
okay.
you
can.
an additional, and actually you did cast that, and it had 1 turn remaining from combat.
Oh,
Yeah.
sweet! I'm gonna
So if
try
you
and
want to
roll
try that
again.
attack again, yeah,
Yeah,
might plus might. We'll keep it at a 10 because it's a double effect.
9.
No.
You all have bonds. You can burn a bond.
I'm going to burn a bond.
Okay. Who are you burning the bond with, and what like are you thinking back to inspire you in this moment?
Um, I'm inspired by Arlo and how quickly he took to piloting the ship.
Okay, cool. Yeah, and it will up you to a 10, and you Kool-Aid man your way through, entirely bypassing the room where the elementals were being converted, and you're able to like just right through into the other side, which isn't like the entry chamber. What was the room where you saw like the pipe starting to do all the weird Arcana tech stuff, and we are
Mhm.
halfway full of our thing. So now we're at the start of round 2. Now your accelerate will have worn off because you did 1 round in combat and 1 round here. If you wanted to re-up it, you are welcome to on your turn. But we're halfway through the thing, and we got 6 rolls left. Who wants to go first?
We're in the starting room now.
You're in like that room where you like saw like the circular thing summoning and destroying. You
Oh
have like
yeah.
a pretty much a mad dash to your ship. So it's like a straight path, but you still have to get there. And at this point, like you can tell, like it's becoming unstable. Flame walls are jumping up. Things are starting to like collapse in on themselves. So you don't want to like stand and look around. Would not be the ideal condition.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Um.
Yeah, Shion has something they'd do if you guys want more time to think.
Yeah, I have no idea what Arlo would
Okay.
do here.
So, Shion will l- take like a split second to look behind her,
Mhm.
and because all of this machinery, it looks like it could explode. That's a
Mhm.
thing. As we are running, she is going to cast ice behind her to attempt
Mhm.
to cover as much of it as possible. Um, so, one, there is less heat as we are running, and two, in the off chance that it does explode, whatever's closest to them hopefully won't be as bad.
Yeah, yeah, we'll say again, your insight and your willpower for your class.
Oh, barely. No, that's a 9.
Yeah, 9 does not. You spray out ice, but with the amount you're putting out, it can't compete with the literal liquid core of the sun coming undone, and you are not able to get it there. Who would like to go next?
Can Shimmer like follow up? Can I? Okay, ahead of time, I want.
Mhm.
In my mind, I feel
Mhm.
like there'd be a bond with either Arlo or Shimmer because
Mhm.
they watched how Shimmer was treated by Xian, like specifically today, and they like saw all this growth between the two of them. And I think
Mhm.
that like Arlo would admire that in a way that like if Shimmer is its own thing, Shimmer would just be affectionate towards Xian now, and then
Okay.
Arlo would admire it. So either way, the bond would work.
Oh, like try to
Um,
Mhm.
burn Shimmer's bond to me?
I don't.
To
Well,
give me the
so
+1?
Shimmer's construct would work. I'm saying it ahead of time, regardless of what I roll, because narratively it sounds cuter.
Oh, I
And
see. I see.
I didn't want it
You
to sound like a backup thing, but
Mhm.
I want Shimmer. I have to roll for the damage, but like, what if we just decided that what Shimmer was doing was ice damage because they really want to follow up with?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm cool with that.
Yeah, and
Mika, you
so
had a
then
question?
Could we spend Fabula points here?
You could, if you wanted to. The fabulous points are what you're spending to use these bonds, but if you want to
Hmm.
try and spend one, like I would allow you to spend one to gain an additional turn now, which you could use to give somebody advantage, which gives them a +3 to a roll. So, like, if you think there's something that not Arlo, that Citrina has done here that could up Yuri's 9 to a 12 to succeed, I would let you burn a fabulous point to give advantage to Yuri there.
Hmm.
Actually, it's +4, not +3, but would still get up to the threshold needed.
Um, so as the fire comes out to strike
Mhm.
her, Citrina like jumps in the way and blocks it with his huge ass axe.
Nice.
It does that to absorb the heat and give her enough time to then jump up and cast the ice magic.
Yeah, which would bump your ice up enough to cool things down to not prevent your escape, bringing you to 3 successes out of 4. And Arlo, you still have your turn this round.
oh, and then we're closer. I think that Arlo would just try to get to the ship. No, like
Yeah.
if in my mind Arlo's leading the way because they were the one that I think had the most health once they were leaving here. So I feel like Arlo would they would try to run to the ship and just like start it while
Yeah.
like if everybody's like a little bit behind him, he would try to start the ship so that way as soon as they get in, it can just go.
Cool. Can I get a double insight roll from you, please, then?
Um, even though the dice have not really been friendly to me, the
Just grab
whole
a
second
different one,
half,
please.
whole second half of this. It's a 9.
Okay.
Yeah.
So a 9 will not get you there, but if somebody wants to burn their
Oh,
next turn, we
they
can.
did
But
say preemptively they were gonna make
Yeah,
their bond,
I did
which is
say
why
which
they
would get you to a
drank their
10.
bond.
So you're
yes.
still 2 points low.
Ah!
Oh,
Yeah.
damn.
Because
I
Dang
use
it.
a Fabula point then
Mhm.
to oh, I guess that would be
Hmm.
each person only has
3.
got multiple
1.
bonds per people.
Uh,
Okay.
yeah. It's like it's 1 bond per person, but we're down a person. So like we'll say a bond per person, and maybe a bond for yourself or a bond for Shimmer. Like you can decide where that third bond goes, but for sure 1 bond to each person.
Okay.
Mhm.
A bond to Shimmer, a bond for Shimmer to get Shimmer to like help course correct or calm down Arlo
Okay. And that would bump us to
to
an
give us
11.
Oh,
So,
yes.
Yuri, is there a bond you have that you could burn to get us to a 12?
Yeah, I think I only burned 1, and
Yep.
it was for whose bond did I burn?
It was for Arlo because of
Okay.
how they were with Shimmer.
That's true.
But you haven't burned a bond with
I
Shimmer yet.
Yeah, I will also, so both of us then end up burning our shimmer bond
Mhm.
to get you there. Um and I think shimmer, having seen you pilot this thing so many times, like with their little body use their weight to help you start like pressing buttons. It's like, I know this lever goes down, like just like yeet, pushes themselves on it to help you start it up faster.
in my head, like I had somehow taught Shimmer like a specific thing to do, but like Shimmer's not heavy enough to like pull the lever it needs to, and so you
Mhm.
cast magic and encase Shimmer in ice essentially, and he plops down and is able to, because of that, pull the lever all the way down to get us there.
Then, as our pilot, Annie, what does it look like as the ship flies out moments before the sun implodes on itself, knowing that at the next sunrise it will be rebirthed into the eighth sun?
I think that like everybody would get on as soon as and like the ship would be like hovering a little. Everybody would like run into the door. It would close, and then Arlo would like just zoom out of there. And maybe they'd hit a little like loop de loop just to like flex on him a little bit because they were like excited. But they would be like gripping on to the steering wheel for like dear life when they're getting out of there. Um and that's it. It would just look real cool when they do it. and
Well, yeah,
and they
and
I need you to know that they have an expression like they know that it was cool that they did the
okay, yeah.
thing.
You see just the sickest piloting getting you out of this imploding star, and you all are able to make it back to, uh, which we didn't name the planet. I mean, we named it, but we haven't said it to Solarian, the planet of the sun, where it's a giant turtle swimming through space. And you dock back in the capital city. And yeah, what is the epilogue of these three? What do you do after the credits roll? After this, like, we'll see like all of the people that made the game. You'll see the sun slowly rising as a new eighth sun, as a sunrise at the end of the end credits. But what is the epilogue for you three? What do you each get up to after you've saved the world? Whether people acknowledge you for it or not, you've done what no one else could do.
I think we just all go home with Shion.
Yeah, so them taking me up on my offer to take them with me, one to a place where no one who isn't an ice elf has been for hundreds of years, to not just learn of my culture, but attempt to convince my people to open up to the world again. We see us walking through if ice, and it looks like there's nothing around for miles, as seemingly out of nowhere, because they blend in so well, these white structures, the tall, you thought like those are some weirdly shaped ice mountains, but it's not. They are buildings, all made of solid ice, but not transparent. They are white, they reflect the light. And it looks for a moment like there is nobody and nothing there. You know, this place is meant to be camouflaged. And Xian explained what to expect a little bit on the trip over here. Xian's just wearing her normal robes, whereas on the way we picked up for the two of you some big fluffy furs and things to drape over yourselves. Um, and so you two looking like little Ewoks walking with her. You see a head poke out, someone who looks a lot like Xian, but male. And they look confused. They looked like they were about to raise an alarm and make a hand sign. And out of the tops of these white buildings, you see other little heads poking out, a lot of them with bows or magic staffs in their hands. They were ready to defend. But upon realizing who it is that walked with you, very tentatively let you in. And our first couple days, you don't get to see much. You immediately get put into a room, a building on your own, and you hear arguing and you hear yelling in a language you do not understand. But you were treated well, and they bring you food and kept warmth until a couple of days later, Shion comes to get you. Excited, she managed to convince them to let you walk among them, learn from them, and they are willing to hear us now. And the rest of your time there, for as long as you're willing to stay, the people open up to you. And I get to take you around and see all of the beasts and creatures that you didn't even know existed because they only live here. And after we do our talks, very diplomatically, let the prince lead most of them. They take a liking, and a group of ice elves volunteers, very excited to come out with us next time we have an adventure to see the world. And you are both welcome to stay there as long as you wish.
The end.
Yeah, that will be the end. So, a world saved. Y'all will one day witness the birth of the eighth son, but until then, you get to hang out and learn new cultures and share new snacks, find new animals, and make diplomacy. Let's go around and tell everyone where we can find you, and then we'll leave. And that's how this works. Annie, who are you, and where can people find you?
My name is Legend of Anakin on everything. I took a break from Twitch, but I'm on Twitch. I'll be back. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Threads like a weird amount compared to anything else. And that's like everything that I'm doing right now.
Nice, Mika.
Hi. You can typically catch me on Roll D5, or you can find me on Threads, Mika_Macintosh. I don't know, catch me tomorrow on Imagine If as we continue playing our Call of Cthulhu 3-parter. And then on Friday, catch me at Entropy Emporium playing D&D Homebrew, Weird Wilds War.
Nice. Yuri.
Hello, everyone. My name was Yudi. That is once again Y-U-R-I, pronounced she, they. Y'all can go ahead and find me at Yudi and the Beast absolutely everywhere on the internet. I've been wanting to play Fabula Ultima for a long time. I have the books. I read them a lot. And so I had a great time. This was fun. I'm happy we did this. You can go ahead and find me here tomorrow again for episode through 2 of our 3-parter.
Starcrawl.
Yes.
We're gonna be on Starcrawl tomorrow, not here.
Oh, well, you're GMing.
I
That's
am
true.
GMing, but I'm doing a guest
Yeah.
appearance. Yeah.
So tomorrow with Sean as our storyteller once again, but this time on Starcrawl for our what is it, part 2 of our
2
3-part
of 3.
mini
Yep.
series, our place at the end of the world, where we are a whole bunch of normal people attempting to honestly just stay sane until the world ends in a couple of days. It is very sad. It is very emotional. Many tears were shed on the first episode. So if you're into that sort of thing, definitely go check it out tomorrow. On Monday, I will be over at New Age Geeks for the Sober D&D campaign Forging Fates. On Tuesday, I will be over at Happy Jack's RPG for our Road to Nowhere atomic punk electric state RPG. So if any of you have like seen the electric state, that's basically what that is. And then Wednesday I will be over at Don't Kill My Character for us coming back from our hiatus of superhero shenanigans as we play mutants and masterminds. Then Thursday again for that part 3 over at Starcrawl for our
Yeah.
place at the end of the world. And that's me.
Yeah, in the next week, if you want to see me live, go to Starcrawl. That's it. My July is light to prep for Gen Con, and then also for August, which is not light. Speaking of Gen Con, if you're going, I haven't done a good job of promoting this at all. I'm going to be there. I'm only going to be there on Saturday, and I'm going to be on 3 panels on Saturday. So if you want to learn
What are the
about,
what are the
yeah,
panels?
I'm trying
List
to
the
remember.
panels.
I'm buying myself time. The first one, I believe. Oh wait, I made a graphic. Let me go to Instagram. I made a graphic
Yes.
for this. What is it? What did I make? I made if you're there on Saturday at 10 a.m., we'll be streaming solo, learning technology on your own. So if you are like, hey, how does one build a channel? How does one do tech? What is OBS? How good does my mic and camera need to be? If you've got questions about that, come to our panel at 10 a.m. If you got questions about the second half of that question of how do I make a channel? How do I become popular so all of my friends will play games with me on the internet? Come to our panel at noon, the best strategies to grow your streamed talk show. There'll be a collection of content creators talking about like D&D shows, about like actual like question and answer interview talk shows, about podcasts that are more narrative basic, all a whole collection. Even though it's called talk show, it's more about how to build a community and how to build a network. And then if you are around at 4 p.m. and have nothing to do, we have a game, Redemption Squad, level 20, where we are a bunch of either prisoners or not prisoners trying to break out and like succeed in escaping the system and the man. And a lot of it. Classic Sam NYGM is running it, and there is a lot of symbolism that is not very veiled. So if you want to come see a very
Did you just say symbolism?
I did not, but yeah, some symbolism. You can check that out. Tickets are still available for all of them. Tickets are like not selling out, but are pretty well sold for the panels. But the game isn't really that booked yet, so there are lots of tickets left. Please buy them so that we can make it happen. But yeah, so I'll see
Love it.
you on Saturday for a 1-day appearance, doing the absolute most. Then
Absolutely.
um,
Oh,
we're
I
gonna
forgot to
raid. Oh yeah,
mention
yeah,
really quick. I will also be at Gen Con. I will be there the entire weekend. On Thursday and Friday, I'm running 10 hours worth of one shots. I will be
goddamn.
running starting at 2 p.m. Safe Mode Disabled, made by our dear friend Janelle Boss Jellybean. And then I am going to be running games for Monty Cook as well, Stealing Stories from the Devil and The Devil's Dandy Dogs, both on Thursday on Friday. I am taking Saturday for myself, so maybe I will crash one of Sean's panels
Yeah.
just to annoy him. And then on Sunday, I will be over playing a live game, Con of the Dead, made put together by Cryptbard. And so we will be doing that.
And we're going to go ahead and raid out to Game Master Monday. They are on episode 2 of Castaway, their survivor themed game. And they're raising money for charity. And by the looks of it, they're really close to getting it. I'm sure Grant or Jin or one of the mods will tell us what they're doing when we send it over there. But that is what we're going to do. And we will see you all. If you want to come back on the channel 2 weeks from today, Annie will be there. These two will not. But we'll see you then for a game of superheroes at the end of the world. See you next time. Bye.